Gun Runner delivered brilliantly yesterday after conquering both the Whitney and the Woodward. He now has his sights set on a potential rematch in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Voodoo Song would not be denied. He added his name to history by becoming the first horse in 65 years to win 4 races in a single meet at Saratoga. And today, Todd Pletcher will send out this filly, Nonamella. She won last year's Adirondack and looks to go 3 for 3 at the Spa. But she'll have to face Downtown Mama, the undefeated filly for Linda Rice. Both have win streaks on the line. Whose streak will end? We'll find out an exciting rendition of the Grade 2 Prioress. You're watching Saratoga Live, presented by Claiborne Farm. 100 years of doing the usual unusually well. Well, it's a rainy day here at Saratoga as we close out another incredible season. Just 2 cards left here, but any day is a good day here at Saratoga. I'm your host, Gabby Gaudette, and pleased to be joined by New York Racing Association's Andy Serling and 4-time All-Star Paul LaDuca. Welcome, guys.
Great to be here. Any day, a rainy day in Saratoga, it's better than a day anywhere else.
Don't tug on my scarf today, Andy.
Yeah, there's something wrong here when you are the one wearing the warmest coat.
I know.
You're supposed to be the toughest guy
the
here,
blood
Paul.
The blood was actually a lot thicker until I moved out to California. No more. Cold day today.
Yeah, it's a little chilly, but you know what? It's great to be in Saratoga.
Yeah.
There's a terrific Prioress coming up later in the show.
Well, we're all bundled up. It's a little chilly outside, but what's heating up is the battle to the finish here in terms of the trainer standings. And we'll take a look here for Todd Pletcher. Well, in the 8th race today, he's got Over Negotiate and Thirst for the Cup. He sends out 2 there. He's got 1 in race 9, and of course, Nonamella, who figures to be the filly to beat in the feature race. For Chad Brown, none today.
It's going to be tough. I mean, Todd Pletcher has a lot of horses to run, and you look at those horses up there, they can all win.
Yeah, he's going to have a heavy favorite in the first race we're going to cover, but I'm not so sure about Nonamella and some of the other ones. Stefan, I'm not in love with Stefan, and I don't think this entry is a slam dunk either. So, you know, he still might have his work cut out for you. You know, to get that win to get past, it's a little tougher than you think.
It's also pretty cool, though. On the second to last day of the meet, these 2 guys are still battling it out. And they feel like they're Jaipur and Raidan were affirmed in Alidar, who dueled the entire meet.
Yeah.
And, you know, another kind of title that's getting close to the finish here is between the 2 brothers, Jose Ortiz and Irad Ortiz. In race 8, 9, 10, 11, we see Jose. And for Irad, he's in the 9th, 10th, and the 11th, and right now it stands 56-52. Do you think Irad can catch up to his younger brother?
Listen, Irad could win 5 races in a day here. He's not the favorite to do it, but it's not out of the realm of the possible.
No, it's not. I mean, both of these guys are so talented. They can put up a 5-bagger on any kind of day. So, you know, I think Irad has a little bit better, or actually Jose has got better mounts. I like Irad's horse a little bit in the last race. That's my long shot play. But you like Yorkie Princess.
I like Yorkie Boo Princess.
Yeah, Yorkie Boo Princess. So he likes 2 long shots today that we both think can figure today.
All right, well, it's going to be an exciting race to the finish, but we'll check in with the Grade 2 Prioress, and Nonamella figures to be one of the horses to beat in there, and this was her winning the Adirondack last year.
You got to like a horse that's 2 for 2 in Saratoga, and she's got a stake win. And she kind of got a slowish pace last time, but she delivered. You know, you can get a race to go your way, but still run a big race, and she has to be considered a major threat.
Well, she's a major threat. Now, Malibu Stacy, we saw yesterday win the race about 19-1 on the turf course, but, you know, does she need the lead to win? If you look at her a couple of her races, she's gotten left and sort of rushed up to the lead. Vertical Oak's very fast. Downtown Mama's very fast. This is going to be a fast-paced race.
They're going to be moving up front, and she's going to have to show a bit of a new dimension. You're right about her getting left. She can't do that in this field.
Yeah.
And we also have something else to throw in, and that's the track conditions. Obviously, we've had rain throughout the afternoon, and here's a look at the track conditions. We are off the turf, and we are sloppy sealed on the main track, and these track conditions are brought to you by John Deere. We'll take a look at the lineup today as we go throughout the card. We're bringing you 4 races, and we started off with an allowance optional claimer. Again, this is off the turf, so it'll be run at 7 furlongs on the main track. We'll also be bringing you an allowance race, of course, our feature race, the Prioress, and we'll cap it off with a nice maiden special weight for 2-year-olds sprinting on the main track. So we still have a lot of action here, but with more on the Prioress, we head out to Maggie. How are you, Maggie?
Thanks, Gabby. And as you mentioned, well, the track, it will play a major factor in today's feature, Grade 2 Prioress, as 5, though, of the 8 fillies in here have won on tracks with moisture in it. But when you think of pedigrees, a lot of times Speightstown, he comes to mind for horses who do handle wet tracks, and he'll have 2 daughters in here, beginning with the undefeated. That is Downtown Mama for trainer Linda Rice, as she will look to keep the greatest stakes action rolling for her barn, coming off that win with Voodoo Song in yesterday's Saranac. Now, Downtown Mama, her first race was on a muddy sealed track at Laurel Park. She does have speed. Is she the fastest, though? That we'll have to find out. But a filly that her trainer says is hoping for her to come off of it is Dawn the Destroyer. Kieran McLaughlin stating and talking to Joelle Rosario, who rode her last time, that she really wasn't that comfortable up on the front end. He's hoping she'll show a new dimension as she will run going the 6 furlongs as opposed to the 7/8 that she got last time with her win here over the track. It was sloppy and sealed as well for that win. But perhaps the most accomplished filly in this field is Vertical Oak for trainer Steve Asmussen, and she has the fastest number for a wet track, and that is Vertical Oak. So it's a great matchup between these fillies, certainly not short on speed here, Gabby, in today's Prioress.
Absolutely. It'll be interesting to see how the field plays out, how that pace plays out as well. But now's a good time to remind everybody about that $200 sign-up bonus. You can bet all the Saratoga action right from home by opening a NYRA Bets account. Go to nyrabets.com, bet 200, and get 200 in your account by using the promo code PICK5. Get signed up today. Well, we'll start things off with the 8th race, and as previously mentioned, we head out to the main track at 7 furlongs. There's 2 other than allowance, and well, the entry is opening up as a heavy favorite at 4 to 5.
You know, Paul, you hit on it right away, and you know they can win, they can both win, but I don't think either one of them has to win this race. This race is more competitive than just the 2 of them.
No, it is. It is. Here's the other thing: is Miko the 4 in here is a horse that it's completely been different on the turf. I get it, but I think could be better today. It's been a lot sharper. And then you got Bride Street, the 10. I'm with you. Ladies Day, the 2, 4 to 5. I think they're could be beaten here.
All right, well, we'll get to that race in just a minute, but we'll backtrack to yesterday as we saw another brilliant performance by Gunrunner in the Grade 1 Woodward, taking the Whitney and the Woodward. Here's a look at Gunrunner.
Quarters 110.45. Gunrunner makes his move for the lead as they come to the top of the stretch in the Woodward. Neolithic put to a full-out drive, and then comes Rally Cry and War Story on the outside, but it's Gunrunner, and he's opening up. Florent Giroux took a peek to his left there. Gunrunner's got a 6-length lead in mid-stretch. Neolithic is next, then Rally Cry, Discreet Lover, and War Story, but they're way behind Gunrunner. Gunrunner, very impressive in the Woodward. He won it by 8 lengths over Rally Crying and Neolithic.
A Gunrunner going into the first turn, he did have to battle off some other speed types in here, guys, and this was a brilliant performance. Is brilliant even begin to describe this performance, though?
This was a genuinely great performance by this horse. I mean, he just embarrassed these horses, and the horses behind him, Paul, they're pretty good.
Well, you know, I love that Neolithic took it to him early, right? So he had to rate for the first time in a while. Not a while, but, you know, it wasn't a jog fest till it turned out to be this. I'll tell you what he is doing. He's sort of lowering himself like a Cadillac now, isn't he? And his stride is getting longer and longer. And it seems like his neck is getting longer and longer. Like he really is reaching out. And
I think the rating is important because one of the things that it led to, it seemed like his success when he was improving was being more aggressive and letting him control in the front end. He rated kindly here and ran maybe the best race of his career.
Absolutely. This was a phenomenal performance here from Gunrunner as he just looks like he continues to get better and better. But we'll take a look here from Ron Winchell and Florent Giroux, the winning connections for Gunrunner after yesterday's win.
They attacked him a little differently today, and it didn't bother him. And so it's kind of a relief for me to see him open up and win in the fashion that he did.
My horse box so sharp, I can do pretty much anything I wanted with him. You know, he's right for me, you know, beautifully. And from there, you know, when he swapped leaving on his left lead, that's when he's very strong. And from the 3-8 pole, I knew I was just a matter of like how many lengths I'm going to win. It was just hanging on. That's it. He's just getting better, and that was 4 weeks. He's doing good, and obviously like the track. And honestly, I don't think he's the 100% cranked up yet.
Consistency is always tough with horses, so you know I'm always looking up to like coming up to this race. Or like, is the consistency going to fall off? But he just keeps showing up and delivering. There was lots of nervous moments coming into this race. Yeah, it's the prep race for Breeders' Cup. It's like watching horses like Arrogate, kind of lose the last two, and watching a Songbird lose. It's like it's fresh in your mind that can easily happen to you.
The Connection saying that after that win, they'll be training Gunrunner up into the Breeders' Cup Classic and shipping him out to the West Coast once the weather gets a little bit cooler. So excited to see what will transpire as we get closer and closer to the Breeders' Cup Classic. We're 15 minutes out from the 8th race, and as we mentioned, well, Todd Pletcher sends out a duo of horses, and one of them being the 1A, Thirst for the Cup, who was entered for main track only. And guys, you'd have to figure that this is a stronger half of the entry.
You would think so, but you know what's exciting for me? Nothing makes me happier than being able to talk about a horse that was on a gold rail. And this one was on the gold rail last time at Monmouth Park. Kind of dressed the performance up. You know, he can win, Paul, or she can win, excuse me, but I don't think she's a 4 to 5 shot.
It was a layup of a race, actually. She was able to go 25 and change in that third quarter, and there was a 1 to 5 shot or 3 to 5 shot that was tracking her. You can see in second, she's not moving too pretty, and she hasn't come back since. So I thought it was an okay effort. Now, I think over negotiate, the other half might be better, and I'll tell you why. You know, the horse won first time out, and then Todd in the third start wanted to go around 2 turns with a straight 1. And I think the horse took his time. Now, has the horse gotten better on turf? Yes. But that last race was not bad. I get it that, he was like second the whole way around, but Dan Slan came from way back as a nice little horse.
Let me ask you a question, though. Do you feel as though Todd Pletcher left this one in more because he's trying to get the wins together, and the 1A is the one he really wanted to run in sort of an insurance policy? Is that fair?
That's probably fair, but I'll tell you what, I think the 1A is a little phony. Here's the thing. Okay, if you look at this race, the reason why they're 4 to 5, there's 6 wins between the 1 and the 1A. The rest of these horses have 1 win, and besides the 4, who has 2 wins. So basically 6 wins, the rest of the field 8. That's why they're getting bet.
But both of us think that there are other horses in this race that have run some competitive races against better fields. I mean, you look at the 2 Ladies' Day. This horse ran a 76 buyer last time out, running against horses that are actually running in our next race, a very tough allowance race. She didn't run great, but she didn't run badly.
No, she did not. She was wide most of the way, and I felt that if you look at the race, she looks like she's dead. She's out of it. She looks like she's going to pack it in about right here, but she keeps on grinding away. As soon as Louis Saez hit her left-handed, look, she takes off again. Now, I know it's a bunch of field, but we're going to see all these runners, like Andy was saying, and a little bit later on. She switches back to a wrong lead. She's getting a little tired, but she is trying. I feel like she's going to love 2 turns.
And she's a genuine dirt horse that's running against a lot of sort of turf met horses, and she has a maiden win that's exceptional. If she ever can remember the horse that she was in that maiden win, her second career start, the others could be in a lot of trouble.
We could see as she gets a little bit of added distance to the 7/8 as we head out to Maggie with a closer look on the 2 Ladies' Day.
And Gabby, in races like this, I'm just trying to find horses that kind of fit the bill for horses that will like a wet track. And I do feel as though that number 2 Ladies' Day may just be one of those. And as I've always said, always willing to forgive a horse for their debut effort, no matter what surface it is. And getting back to it, I always find them intriguing. I think she looks great here, and she fits the bill for a horse that should handle the going here today. Now moving on to the one that was entered for the main track, and that's the 1A, Thirst for the Cup. Look, I've always felt as though this filly would appreciate maybe a little less ground. She'll get it here going the 7/8. I think she looks fit and healthy and everything you want from a favorite, but as you guys were alluding to, maybe she is a little bit dressed up. And then a horse that I kind of want to work into here, given her pedigree, given what I see from her on this wet track, is number 7, Majestic Bonnie. We saw 2 races back with Tom Amos's horse and Lone Sailor, who is a son of Majestic Warrior. He skipped right over this sloppy going. In my experience with the progeny of Majestic Warriors, they really, really appreciate very wet tracks. And Majestic Bonnie, this will be her first try on it. She physically looks like one that'll appreciate it. And she looks very, very fit here, Gabby. And she's nice and relaxed. Sometimes she's gotten a little headstrong in her races, and today she seems very laid back, which I like. I want to give her a shot. Gabby?
Well, watch out for Maggie and George Weaver long shots, because she's pretty good at that. That's a look at Linda Rice, of course, having a successful day yesterday with Voodoo Song. We're 11 minutes or 10 minutes out from race 8. But first, if you're a racing fan, there is truly no better place to be than Saratoga. What makes this place so special? We'll hear from the people later on.
Grade 1 winner Data Link by world-renowned sire Warfront. Data Link scored in the prestigious Grade 1 Makers 46 Mile at Keeneland. Then set a new course record in the Grade 2 Monmouth Stakes. With a pedigree free of Mr. Prospector in the first 4 generations, Data Link is the perfect outcross option. His first weanlings turned heads, selling well above the stud fee. Data Link at Claiborne Farm.
Make NyraBets your home for online horse racing and betting. Use NyraBets to bet on live horse racing from around the world. Bet from anywhere, anytime using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Play in our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up at NyraBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus today. NyraBets, racing's best play. Use promo code PICK5 to get a $200 new member sign-up bonus on NyraBets.com.
Welcome back to Saratoga Live, and the question is, who do you like? Well, we'll find out momentarily, as we are just 8 minutes to post for the 8th race. But first, now is a good time to check out the Saratoga Showdown. It's a free online contest that follows our races today on Saratoga Live. It's an easy way to get acquainted with betting, and it's risk-free. Every day, the highest mythical bankroll earns $50,000 NyraBets points, plus an entry to win a 2018 Belmont Stakes prize package. So go to SaratogaShowdown.com for more information. Well, we've got an even money entry here, Paul. What do you do? How do you bet this race?
Well, hey, listen, like I said, I think this entry is beatable, but I think the rest of the card is very difficult. So I think you have to go here with the 6 wins and take your shot, hope they win the race. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go just circle to race number 10. Please throw in the 3, Golden Mischief. That horse ran a monster race against a 14-horse field in the 8 Bells on a sloppy racetrack against 3 very nice fillies. I think you need to use that horse. The last race, the 15 is a pedigree play for me. Honor and Glory, one of the better mud sires you could have on the bottom side. So I'm taking a little shot with Disco Outlaw, throwing him in the last. This is a pick 4. If the 1 doesn't win this race, it could be anything.
This is the pick 4 with no respect for Sterling. No, you 6 of 8 and no Yorkie Poo Princess.
Oh,
I'm extreme. I don't want to root against you, Paul. You know, I'm very hurt here. I'm betting Bride Street, so I'll be sort of rooting against each other a little bit here. I don't know. Maybe she's a little dead in the board at 8-1, but you know, Bride Street's first race, she showed she could win first time out, so she should be able to run well fresh. She had a little trouble in her next start in a stake, and actually she ran okay last time going long. She just had a crazy against-the-track trip with a wide trip. I just want to take a shot with a horse that even though she was entered turf, she might be okay in the dirt.
All right, well, that's the field there, as we'll get to the post parade momentarily. But you brought up some good points, though, about Bride Street. And, I mean, this is a filly, too, who had a lot of success. Aren't you a little bit worried that she's 8-1?
Yes, I am. The betting in this race is funny in general.
All right, well, we're approaching the post parade here, and we kick things off with the entry that's even money, the number 1, Over Negotiate, sent out by Todd Pletcher.
Todd Pletcher's looking to take control of this trainer's title with this entry here. Over Negotiate, more of a turf horse, but not impossible on the dirt.
Owned by Rapoli Stable, he sends out Thirst for the Cup as well. And we've got Jose Ortiz in the saddle.
She's the most accomplished of the dirt horses near, and certainly a logical horse. The entry's taking a lot of money. She's coming off a big win at Monmouth.
There's a look at the 2 Ladies' Day, who'll draw the rail today, but taking money right now at 3-1. Luis Saez in the saddle.
Yeah, for the Godolphin Blue. This is a filly to me that has a big, big shot. She needs to mind her gate manners. She always has a problem there, but I think she's going to like to stretch out.
The 4 Miko, sent out by trainer Linda Rice, having a good day yesterday. We'll hope to keep that momentum today.
Sharp, 2 wins in a row on turf. The 1 dirt start was not good, so a tough read here at 5-1.
Scratch the middle horses, the 5 and the 6, and we pick it up on the 7, sent out by trainer George Weaver, Manny Franco in the saddle.
1 race on the dirt was in the Demoiselle at 1 1/8. You never know, and Maggie's certainly good with the Weaver horses.
The 10 Bride Street has had experience against Stakes Company and coming off a layoff since February for Kira McLaughlin.
You know, her debut win, I think, puts her right in the mix here at 8-1. I think she's going to show some speed.
That's the 11-2 Hot Betty, sent out by Abigail Adsit, and gets back to the dirt today.
Nothing wrong with her turf races. Her dirt races don't make her competitive.
All right, there's a look at the 10 Bride Street here for trainer Kira McLaughlin. 8-1 right now, and as we previously mentioned, she's a filly that's gone against Stakes Company and showed a little bit of talent earlier in her career.
Yeah, I mean, obviously she'll have to get a little faster in all likelihood to win this, but she got a 66 buyer in her debut, which makes her at least competitive. By winning her debut, it suggests she's a horse that can run well fresh, Paul. And, you know, if she shows sort of routine improvement from 2 to 3 or earlier in her 3-year-old career, she could run a figure in the mid to high 70s, which makes her competitive.
I thought this was a good race. I'm with Gabby. I thought her second race was even better. She had a brutal beginning in that race, rushed into the pace, and then she just flattened. She got tired, and she was off a little bit of a layoff here. And she's a filly by Street Cry, and most of them get a little bit better and stronger as they get older, and Holy Bull on the bottom side. And Kieran McLaughlin, I was looking at him, his stats are very good on off track. You know, trainers got stats everywhere. Sometimes they're not as good on off tracks. Kieran does well when there's a little rain in the air.
Well, this 3-year-old filly is also coming off of a layoff since the end of February, Maggie. What can you make of that? How does she look?
Gabby, she looks very, very fit here. She's very lean. She's a bit of a more narrow frame type of filly. So I kind of get where they wanted to stretch her out in her 3rd start of her career. But the 7/8 should do the trick. And as Andy alluded to, you know, she's run well fresh before. Her first race was a win. So, like I said, she's very well prepared here. We'll see how she handles the wet going. I don't see anything hindering her, that's for sure, from getting a nice trip over this surface. Guys?
Great stuff there, Maggie, with the 10 as we get to the 4 Miko for Linda Rice. And this filly, she's stretched out on the turf in her past 2 starts, but Linda deciding to keep her in on this off the turf race. She only has 1 start on the main track, kind of got off to a bad start, but what do you make of her, and do you think she might be a better horse going longer?
Yeah, I also think she's getting bet at 5-1 off her turf race performances. The one positive, Paul, though, Linda Rice leaves the horse in. So she must want to give her another chance on the dirt.
This is the toughest read in the race by far. She claims the horse for $40,000 3 starts back. She puts the horse right back in on the turf going long where the horse didn't run well first time out in maiden special 8. Wins. Then even sharper than that starter allowance race. So I don't know. I don't know if Linda's got this filly really sharp. Does she really love the turf going long? I think Linda's taking the approach that she's won 2 in a row, Gabby. She's like, I'm just not going to mess with it. She needs to run right now. She's probably fit. Let's go.
Well, that's one thing, too. Linda Rice, she's a trainer. She is not afraid to run. If the horse is doing well, regardless of the conditions of the race, she will run them.
She's about as good a trainer as you can find in the game off of wins, as evidenced by the fact that Voodoo Song's won 4 races to meet, and her sprinter the other day has won 3.
Which is an underrated stat.
Oh, I think it's one of the most important stats. I think it's what separates the good trainers from the ones who aren't as good, ones who can keep their form and even win moving up.
The other confusing part is the First Samurai, which is her sire, they actually do like the wet surface. So I really don't know how to read the 4 here.
Maybe she's just turned a corner since getting into Linda Rice's barn. But the 7 Majestic Bonnie, she only has 1 race on the main track, and that was going against Grade 2 Company. She's a tricky read in here, too, and she's 6-1. Do you think she's taking some nibbles right now?
She is. Listen, you throw out George Weaver horses, especially at prices at your own peril. She is more of a turf horse, but I think it's interesting that George leaves her in.
Most definitely, because all you need to look is her PP. Miss Sky Warrior, La Coronel, and Coasted, she faced it at age 2. So, I mean, those are 4 pretty good fillies, and they were all good at age 2. Danceland last time, she had an awful start last time, and I think maybe George's thinking, okay, let's leave her in and see if we can get some lightning here on the dirt. And Majestic Warrior, we saw Tom's horse win a little bit earlier, son of Majestic Warrior.
Well, there's a look at the 7 there, but the 1A, Thirst for the Cup, well, trainer Todd Pletcher does send out both of these horses, and that's him sitting in the box seats next to his wife and his father. He's dressed a little casual today, huh?
I think he's looking like he would like a heater in the box.
Is that the Auburn Tigers or the University of Arizona?
University of Arizona, where he graduated from.
Come on, I'm a Sun Devil, Todd.
All right, well, best of luck to Todd Pletcher again. As it stands, Todd Pletcher has 38 wins at the meet. Chad Brown, 38 at the meet. This race could maybe turn things around here as time is a-ticking. You see those binoculars there for trying to take a closer look here at the field as they begin to load. We head up to Larry Comas for the load and call.
Just 3 left to go in now is Too Hot Betty will take her spot on the starting gate. And then the Rapoli-Pletcher pair of Over Negotiate and Thirst for the Cup will complete the line. They are at 3-5 on the tote board. As Over Negotiate comes up in the orange cap and Thirst for the Cup in the white cap will take the outside stall and complete the line. Thirst for the Cup steps forward and goes in. They're all in line. They're off. Over Negotiate, Thirst for the Cup. Thirst for the Cup's going to go up and grab the lead and open up the lead by 2. Here's Bride Street on the inside, moving up. And now taking second position up the backstretch, Ladies' Day is 3rd as Majestic Bonnie goes up on the far outside. And then it's back to Miko and Too Hot Betty as they head up the backstretch in pursuit of Thirst for the Cup and Jose Ortiz, who lead it by 1.5 lengths. It is Bride Street who's up into second now. Ladies' Day goes up between horses. Over Negotiate is there with Majestic Bonnie 4 deep up the backstretch. Then Miko and Too Hot Betty. First quarter's up in 23.39 seconds, moving for the far turn. And it is Thirst for the Cup in front. Ladies' Day pressing the pace just a neck back on the outside. Second now, Majestic Bonnie moves up alongside of Over Negotiate right behind those 2. Bride Street is back running in 5th on the inside. Miko is 6th. Too Hot Betty trails. It is still Thirst for the Cup with Ladies' Day alongside after a 46.76 half. These 2 turn for home with Thirst for the Cup trying to shake away. Opening up 2.5 at the top of the stretch. And then it's Ladies' Day second, followed by Bride Street on the inside. And Majestic Bonnie, Thirst for the Cup's long gone. Look at her pull away from her competition in the slop today at the Spa. Thirst for the Cup and Jose Ortiz way out in front. Ladies' Day was second, Miko was 3rd, Majestic Bonnie was 4th in 123.68.
Thirst for the Cup, an absolute romp in race 8. And there's a look at trainer Todd Pletcher. And it's getting tighter and tighter, that race to the finish here in terms of the trainer standings here. And +1 for Todd Pletcher, but we still have many more races.
But if you're going to seize control of the trainer's title, this is the way to do it.
Wow. I mean, this horse is crushed. And we talked about the 3 wins compared to the others. And for a split second, the 2 who didn't break great looked like she was going to hang in there. And she does. She hangs in there for a second. But in the wake of Thirst for the Cup, and Jose Ortiz is going to add to his lead as well. And he took a peek in the infield board, Gabby, when it was over about the top of the lane.
And this horse just galloped in here. I mean, that's called winning like a 3 to 5 shot should.
Actually a pretty good time in the mud. 123
this horse ran.
Yeah.
She ran.
Yeah.
Absolutely, but you could see even in the beginning of the race, Andy, that thirst for the cup kind of went to the lead, and we saw his other half of the entry sit off the pace. So kind of looked like they had a strategy going into this one.
No question about it, and they did the right things here, and they went to the front. But you know, when you got the best horse, you ride them like the best horse, and that's what they did here. And she just buried this field.
Yeah, she really did. And here's the thing: that's when you love. I love the 1 more than the 1A, but hey, I'll take the 1A now.
Well, not only is that a +1 for Todd Pletcher, that's also a +1 for jockey Jose Ortiz, who now has 57 wins, a couple over his brother Irad Ortiz. Well, Voodoo Song came to Saratoga with only 1 win on his resume. He'll leave this summer with 5. We'll talk more about this horse for the course and his summer at the Spa right after this.
Make NyraBets your home for online horse racing and betting. Use NyraBets to bet on live horse racing from around the world. Bet from anywhere, anytime using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Play in our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up at NyraBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus today. NyraBets, racing's best play. Use promo code PICK5 to get a $200 new member sign-up bonus on NyraBets.com.
Welcome back to Saratoga Live, and Todd Pletcher gets another victory to his name, standing atop the trainer standings right now with 39 wins, and he was stacked with entrants leading into the weekend, and it looks like it's paying off. Thirst for the Cup gets the victory, returning $330 for the win. 1A to 4 here are the official results for race 8 as we head down to the winner's circle. Standing by with Maggie, Todd Pletcher.
Yeah, the man of the hour, that's for sure, Gabby, right now. Thirst for the Cup, Todd, looks as though she had a win over a wet track, but she relished the going here at Saratoga.
Yeah, she really did. We thought she might, based on her pedigree, stay thirsty. Pollard's Vision, bottom side, Carson City. So you know, we were hoping, and it's glad to see her do it.
A decent time, and I know who's counting, but puts you in the lead for the trainer's title.
Still a lot of races left, but Mike Rapoli's helped me a lot the last few days. I got to give him a lot of credit.
And speaking of a lot of races left, you'll send out Nona Mella in the Prioress a couple races from now. She comes off of a nice victory first off of that layoff.
She did. She ran very well off the layoff. She's trained well. She's 2 for 2 here at Saratoga. She's never run on a track like this, but pedigree-wise, we think she'll handle it, so we'll see what happens.
All right, Todd. Well, best of luck. Congrats here. Nice way to get the latter half of the card going.
Thank you.
All right, Gabby.
Thanks, Maggie. Yes, always good to have a person like Mike Rapoli in your corner and getting the victory here in the 8th race. Well, we'll take a look here. Every summer when Saratoga opens its doors, horse racing fans flock to the Upstate Oval. Whether it be a loaded Saturday or just a midweek program, the lines are out the door to Union Ave. What makes this place so special? We hear from the fans.
The horses.
23 races and he's placed 10 times.
It's really nice, and my kids love the new stuff here.
The ambience, the trees, the people, beautiful weather. It's great.
Fun. Good environment, good crowd.
At the Jim Dandy Bar.
There are things I should say. It's so good when we get it together. I can tell by the look in your eye that you know that I'm gonna deliver.
Watching the jockeys race.
Oh, that's official right there. What away.
Where we all met. We all became friends here at Saratoga just from being in this very spot.
It's awesome. I love it. The atmosphere. Look at everybody here. Everybody's dolled up to the nines. I got this blazer on. I'm feeling good.
All day, every day, our fans come out to support racing here at Saratoga, and we must have the best fans in racing at Saratoga, even the rainy day fans.
We do have the best fans
wait,
here.
what's going on there? They got a Jets and a Met hat on with a Giant and a Yankee hat on.
There's a lot going on there.
That's all covering all four, and you got to love the man on the right. He's hip. He's still got his tag on.
Oh, there's a look at those fans. They're always incredibly appreciative for them coming out to Saratoga Racecourse as well. It's been a heck of a meet with them as well. But yesterday, we'll take a look at what's trending. Yesterday, we saw Voodoo Song get 4 wins at the meet. This is a tweet from Morning Line odds maker Travis Stone. Voodoo Song won more races than I picked winners this meet. It's not easy to pick winners here.
I can definitely feel Travis's pain.
That was an awesome tweet.
This is a good one, too. Jude Feld sends out 4 wins in 7 weeks. Hashtag Voodoo Song horses really can run more than 4 times a year. Great job, Linda Rice. Hashtag old school.
It's incredible, this horse, and what Linda's done with this horse this
Yeah,
meet
cool.
is just off the charts amazing.
And Jude Feld, one of the good guys in racing. And Voodoo Song, man, we were talking about this yesterday, Gabby. Each race was more impressive.
Well, this was incredible. I mean, for this horse to be in a $40,000 claiming race here on the second day of the meet, gets the job done, blows the field out, comes back a few days later at a 1 3/8, I think, wins again, and I know the turf was firm. So what? This horse is a machine.
Well, he was able to sting Bricks and Mortars, who had to make an early move, the 4 on the inside, but then he was able to hold off Yoshida there towards the end. I actually saw Jose Lascano today. He's a kind of guy you got to try to get a smile out of Jose every once in a while. He's a really nice kid, but I asked him today, I said, good job on Voodoo Song. He's like, man, thank you so much. 4 wins on 1 horse, pretty cool.
And he looked like he was going to get caught a couple of times in that race. And when a horse has a big lead like that and real horses coming to him the stretch, it's tough to hold him off, and he just kept finding more.
Yeah.
And this horse does not like to get past, that's for sure, and he never really has to when he's on the lead like that. But that was an accomplishment, guys, that had not been done in 65 years. The last time that we saw that was from the great Native Dancer. He won 4 races consecutively at Saratoga. But for more on this, we take a look here at the winning connections after Voodoo Song's victory.
It's quite a thrill. You know, he's been a terrific horse this meet. We've enjoyed 3 terrific wins, but nothing like this one. It was really special. And Barry and Cheryl were here for it. They were supposed to go to the West Coast, and they stayed for it. So anyway, it's terrific.
Well, Barry, I'm glad you did stay, and I interviewed you after his last win, which was 10 days ago, extended layoff. You said the Saranac. I thought you were joking.
No, well, Linda said this, there's one more shot at the end of the meet. To give him 10 days, it's a grade at stake. I said, let's go for it. So here we are. We decided not to go to California for a while, and I'm very glad I stayed. I mean, this was very exciting, and I think the fans really loved the fact that they've got a horse that won 4 races up here. It's something to root for. I mean, it's really extraordinary. It was an extraordinary training job by Linda. So to be put in, even mentioned in the same sentence with Native Dancer, that's a great honor.
And that was an incredible performance from Voodoo Song, but also really interesting to hear Barry Schwartz talk about Native Dancer and saying that he actually witnessed it himself.
That's amazing. Barry's a great racing fan. I mean, he's had horses for a long time, but he's just a huge fan of the game.
Yeah, he's mentioning how Native Dancer got left in the gate, had a horrible trip in the Derby. He remembers the trip. So pretty cool stuff. And he didn't even realize that Voodoo Song in the same company, what a horse Native Dancer was. And there is the statue. And a lot of people do like to take pictures in front of that statue.
That statue is tremendous.
Yeah.
Donated, of course, by Mary Lou Whitney and her husband, John Hendrickson. It's at the foot of Union Avenue. I wonder if Barry could find another place in town to put up a statue of Voodoo Song. Why not?
That'd be cool.
We could actually maybe see that happen. I think he deserves it.
That would be awesome.
For sure. An incredible performance from Voodoo Song as well yesterday. But we'll take a pause here in the action and talking about, well, tomorrow, coming up on Monday, Dwayne Lucas will send out Sporting Chance, the Grade 1 hopeful. His Hall of Fame trainer will look to win number 8 in this historic race. More on that later.
Visit the new Rivers Casino and Resort, the Capital Region's only destination for live table game action and where the hottest new slots are paying out millions. Sign up for Rush Rewards and play up to $500 in slots on us. Plus, we'll double any casino offer and match your tier. Rivers Casino and Resort.
Change the way you watch racing forever with the new Naira Now app. Live racing in English or Spanish. From a variety of camera angles, race replays, talking horses, race analysis, and a multitude of on-demand content, all in high definition. Naira Now is available on many platforms, including iOS, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and more coming soon. Download Naira Now today, free in the App Store, and start watching the best racing like never before.
You're watching Saratoga Live, presented by Claiborne Farms. And, well, we've got one race down and 3 more to come, and still our feature race of the day to come as well. But tomorrow's the last chance to get in on the Naira Bets Late Pick 5 for Saratoga. It's a minimum $150,000 single ticket payout, and the only place you can play the Naira Bets Late Pick 5 outside of New York is through Naira Bets. You must bet through your account to take advantage of this single ticket payout. Go to nairabets.com for more information. We'll take a look now at the Late Pick 5 follow-along. There was $137,000 added into the pool, and, well, we started off with a nice long shot, followed by a formful horse, Thirst for the Cup, returning 330.
But it doesn't feel like a sequence that can really chalk out, especially that last race is wide open. And you look at the Prioress, and there's like, you use 6, and I picked another horse in the race, so that's 7 of the 8 we think can win.
And the other part about this is, listen, Gunrunner was a free square yesterday, and it almost paid $5,000. The day before, Chad Brown's horse was a bigger free square than Gunrunner, which is even crazy, and it paid $2,500. So the moral of the story, do not be afraid to take an odds-on horse.
Right. They're your friend in multi-race sequences. Now,
sure.
I wasn't smart enough to single the entry in the last race. You were. They're your friends. Don't ever think that 1 or 2 short prices in a pick 5 means it has to pay small.
Yeah, if you like a favorite, you just strategize around that and figure out how to make money. And how are we going to make money in this race? Guys, the board is all over the place. Where does the conversation even begin?
I guess it begins with the 8-horse Kirby's Penny, who was involved in a wicked slow pace in her last race on the track that favored her running style. She did, however, run extremely well in her prior start in a sloppy track against Your Love, who's running tomorrow, and Dawn the Destroyer, who's one of the worst to beat in the Prioress.
I thought she ran giant 2 back. She got really nailed at the wire, but she wasn't giving it up. This race was over. She just ran away with this at 50 cents on a dollar. She did what she was supposed to do. And her one lone wet start, you're right, it was her last race. You could argue that was her best race.
And I'll tell you something, for people who look at her and they see so many 3-year-olds in this race and say, well, why isn't she running in the Prioress? She's a 4-year-old. She can't run in the Prioress. Most of these horses in here are 3.
Well, it's also interesting to kind of figure out the pace scenario in here as well. She figures to be forwardly placed. And Stormy Song, filly that you're looking at right now, she had shown speed, but she stumbled out of the gate last time out.
Yeah, I have a question. I want both of you to look at this when we're going to show the race. I don't know if she stumbled or what exactly happened here. Whatever did exactly happen, and we'll watch the head-on as well, she was eliminated at the break as an overbet heavy favorite. And I liked her last time, but she was overbet.
Yeah, she was overbet. Now the worry is she draws the dreaded 1 hole. She can't do the same thing. And here's the head-on now. She's the 5-horse. So look right. I don't know if she was unprepared or not. She didn't really stumble. She just was flat-footed. I mean, and just gets,
and they closed the door on her right away after that, and the race is over for her.
Here's the thing. She's going to have to press from the inside and be able to fend off a lot of other speeds in here, and she just never gets involved late. Now here comes the stretch. Libby's Tail probably had the best trip. She plays the field, the 6 on this day. The 9 was wide most of the way, and Les Mimi. I could argue the 6, the Gray, and the 8 were a little bit better, but it was somewhat of a merry-go-round race because the horse that won, Royal Inheritance, just went gate to wire.
I agree with you. Now, let me ask you a question. Is it sort of apples and oranges because it was a wet track? Ladies' Day obviously didn't run that well out of that race. The horse who was in the second, the last race, but beat in a pole. Does that move the race down for you at all, Paul?
I don't think it moves it down. You know, that's a good question because you really don't know how the track plays. Every sloppy track plays different, but you're right.
Maybe it's just, you know, on a sloppy track, you don't know how much you can trust one performance to the next.
But one thing I will tell you, the 1 should not be 3-1.
Well, here's the question. This is something I talked about earlier. She was also first-time Lasix, the 1, Stormy Song. She was 6-5 last time, so maybe she is supposed to be a short price. Libby's Tail, Michael Dubb looks to extend his lead in the owner's battle. He's up by 1 for Ree Rodriguez. She's a talented filly.
She is, and we just showed the replay. She was the 3. She got a tiny bit left, but then she sucked into a new trip, a great trip, and ran a good second at 7-1. I take it 2 ways. Did she need the race because she hadn't been out since January? Was that sort of a stepping stone? Is she going to be better today? Or was she just okay last time?
I'm not sure. I think those are all good questions. She got a very good trip in that race.
I think you also have to pose the question, do the connections think that she's a closing sprinter, or do they hope to get more distance with her?
I felt like they must think she's more of a closing sprinter. Look, she did run well in the Frizette on the front end that day, but maybe they think she's better shorter.
Well, this is a very contentious field indeed. You can tell by the board right now. We'll head out to Maggie for a closer look on the field.
And Gabby, I want to start down on the rail with number 1, Libby's Tail in here. And now going back to that day, I was actually out on the pony. So I got to watch her warm up, and she got a very quiet kind of warm up where jockey Joel Rosario really didn't do too much with her. And it kind of reflected in the way that she broke. She broke very flat-footed, and it wasn't maybe necessarily of his doing. She was just very kind of quiet in the warm-up. So today it looks as though she has a little more energy, at least here in the paddock, and she does get the addition of Lasix. So you got to think that maybe something happened coming out of that race, and now she's poised and primed for a better effort. At least let's hope for the betting public. Next we'll move on to number 2, Stay Fawn. She is a turn back in here from the 9 to the 6 for trainer Todd Pletcher. Now physically she does look as though she's a horse who wants to go maybe a little bit longer, but I will say that she certainly came in here bouncing on her toes. So I like when horses show that kind of energy, turning back in distance. So the thing is, though, it does seem as though it's a little bit on the difficult side to make up a lot of ground on this sloppy track that we have at the Spa. And then a horse that just looks fantastic, and she's second off of a layoff. She hasn't been able to run much in her career, or at least string races back to back. That's number 4, Tasteful. She just looks like a tank in here. She looks fantastic for trainer Kieran McLaughlin. I think we'll see a better effort than what she ran in that last race, in that common race that most of them in here come out of on August 6th. Gabby?
Well, thanks, Maggie. That is the 4, Tasteful, and she's had 3 career starts and second start off the layoff for trainer Kieran McLaughlin, so we'll see how this race does shake out. But taking a look at yesterday, well, patience pays off. Lady Ivanka sits the trip to stamp herself as a newly minted Grade 1 winner. More on the Spinaway next.
Multiple Grade 1 winner First Samurai by Giants Causeway got off to a quick start at stud, siring Grade 1 winners in each of his first 3 crops. His talented son Lee captured the Grade 1 Don Handicap in record time and retired to stud with over $2.3 million in earnings. Sovereign Award nominee Stack Deck captured the Grade 3 Bold Venture Stakes and Grade 2 Kennedy Road Stakes, both just to tick off track record times. First Samurai at Claiborne Farm.
Make NyraBets your home for online horse racing and betting. Use NyraBets to bet on live horse racing from around the world. Bet from anywhere, anytime using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Play in our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up at NyraBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus today. NyraBets, racing's best play. Use promo code PICK5 to get a $200 new member sign-up bonus on NyraBets.com.
Watching Saratoga live as the rain continues to trickle down here at Saratoga, but it's still a great day, and we still have a lot more action left today, and that's the 6, Lose Mimi, sent out by Jeremiah Engelhardt. Guys, this is such a competitive race, but the argument could be said that this filly's improved in her past couple of starts.
Absolutely. Jeremiah's done a sensational job with this filly. She's really gotten better. She came and got our Lucky Charm. It looked like she was home 2 races back and ran well last time, 3 to 4 wide in that race. I can't see why she can't win.
Yeah, sometimes you look at her and you think she's going to hang, but the other 2 times she went right by, like 2 starts back. She did not have a great trip, and 3 starts back, she ran into 2 decent horses and was a good second on the slot.
And I think you have to judge her on only her last 4 races, because since going to Jeremiah Engelhardt's barn, she has really improved.
She has improved big time. In her 2 wet starts, you could argue are her 2 best.
That's Sam the Bugler with the call to post, which will be coming up momentarily. We've got 7 minutes to post for race 9. And we will start things off with the 2 Stay Fond. Todd Pletcher sends one out. He just won the last one. Can he go back-to-back?
Well, we're probably going to look to go back-to-back, right? And this horse is 11-1. A little cold on the board, but Daughter of Stay Thirsty, that's what we just saw in the last race, a Daughter of Stay Thirsty win.
Yeah, very interesting at 11-1. The 3 Ms. Tutu sent out by trainer Dale Romans, Luis Saez in the saddle.
She moves up considerably in class off the win last time.
Oh, there's a look at the 4 Tasteful for Godolphin Racing. Kieran McLaughlin sends out this 3-year-old filly.
Her second start was just dynamite. She got left and circle the field. Last time she was even around the racetrack. I think she moves up today. Jockey switch to Rajiv.
5 Bowtown Cat for Pat Reynolds. This 4-year-old filly seems to be pretty quick on her feet.
She could be the speed of the speed in this race and run this field off their feet.
And that is the 6 Lose Mimi for Jeremiah Englehart. This filly just continues to improve in the new barn.
You're right, Gabby. Sort of a lunch pill horse. She always comes to work ready to run third, first, second, and second in her last 4 starts.
Michael Dubb is part of the ownership of the 7 Libby's Tail, trained by Rudy Rodriguez.
A horse who's lost a head away from being a Grade 1 winner, second off a layoff.
Kent Spellman owns the 8 Kirby's Penny, sent out by Wesley Ward, and Johnny Velasquez will ride.
Ran too good to lose 2 back, and then last time, Frank that at 50 cents to the dollar. Probably your favorite. Yeah, is your favorite now, and she's the one to beat.
This filly draws the outermost post position. The 9, She Plays the Field for trainer Brian Lynch.
She ran fine in her last race, and she was attending a pace that did hold together, but she's a dangerous horse as well.
And the other Brian Lynch runner, the 1 Stormy Song, Joel Rosario in the irons.
She caused her own problems last time out, but gets Lasix off that effort, and her debut win was a good one.
Well, we'll go back to the outside, the other Brian Lynch runner, the 9, She Plays the Field. And, guys, where do you figure this filly's going to be sitting? How do you kind of figure the pace photo to wind out?
She feels I'm sort of close to mid-pack. Does that seem fair?
Yeah, you know, she's gotten left in a couple of her starts. Her last 3 starts is the worry. I don't know what's going on, but she's sort of gotten left. Although when I watched it, she got into stride quick and pressed right up to Royal Inheritance. But she needs to break better against this field because she can't get hung out wide again. Because 8, I would think Kirby's Penny's going to leave in her face. And Libby's Tail's got a little speed to leave in her face, too.
Well, how do you think a horse like this could turn the tables on all of the fillies that she faced last time out?
That's a reasonable question because she seemed a little bit slower than those horses. But I guess you could say she'll turn the tables if she loves the slop and she's never been on it before.
Let me ask you this question. Both times she's been left, have those been her best 2 races? I'm wondering if she wants to run from behind.
That's a good point, and this might be a better race to drop her back.
Yeah.
Well, talking about the speed of the race, too, we have the 5 Bowtown Cat towards the inside, and she's very quick, and she's shown speed on a wet surface before, but could she get loose on the lead?
Absolutely. If she breaks sharply, you got to think Eric Cancel's going to be going with her.
Yeah, if the 1 makes another mistake. Now, Stormy Song is getting bet, I think, because a lot of people are thinking she's going to be the speed in here. She makes another mistake at the gate. You're right. It's going to lay 5-7 in here. And you make a good point, Gabby. She ran a good race. She hung in there against a pretty good field on the mud last time.
We could see that as she'll be making her 3rd start off of the layoff last time out. A decent performance here at Saratoga behind Run and Go at a big price. So right now holding odds at 9-1. We'll look at the 2 Stay Fond, and you guys brought up a good point in that should any Todd Pletcher runner be 11-1 on this day, and is that a bad sign?
Well, first of all, I love a turn back. I mean, I could bet any turn back horse going from a route to a sprint. Second of all, this is a horse I've always had a thing for. I actually really like this horse. Now, maybe it's time for me to admit I have a problem, and she's not as good as I think she is. But last time out, she had trouble at the start. She got wired in that race on a track that was very favorable to front runners on the inside. She ran against the grain of the race. I think she ran fine in that race. She's far from impossible at a crazy big price.
No, I like what you're saying. I thought she was pretty good. You know, if this race was 6.5 or 7, she would not be 12-1. She'd be like 8-1. I think people are worried the 6 is too short on the cutback, but actually Todd's pretty good on this move.
She wins this race. People will be saying, how did people let Todd Pletcher pay $27?
Well, you got the bettors here, the money at Saratoga is so smart. So don't you think that that's kind of a sign that she's so cold?
I feel like you're right about that. It's a little weird that she's this big a price. It does feel like she's chilly.
It's not like she's coming out of bad races. She was second last
No,
year.
I think in the other part, the money's going to Stormy Song because the public's thinking the 2, 3, and 4 aren't very fast, that if Stormy Song just gets left a little bit, she's able to maybe clear from the inside.
Maybe it's such a confusing race that some horse got lost, and she's the one.
Well, if she's lost and you find her and she's a winner, that might be a good sign here at 12-1. Todd Pletcher sends out the 2 Stay Fun as he hopes to get another win. We'll step aside as a new audience joins us now. You're watching Saratoga Live, presented by Claiborne Farms. 100 years of doing the usual, unusually well. Well, we're coming up on race 9 here, but first wanted to remind all you new viewers about the $200 sign-up bonus. You can bet all the Saratoga action right from home by opening a Naira Bets account. Go to nairabets.com, bet 200, and get 200 in that new account by using the promo code PICK5. Get signed up today. Oh, I'm Gabby Gaudette, joined by New York Racing Association's Andy Serling and 4-time All-Star Paul LaDuca. And guys, it's been a good day so far, great weekend, but it's quickly coming to a close, this Saratoga meet.
I know, it's always very bittersweet when you leave Saratoga, but the nice news is that it's a little rainy today. It's supposed to be beautiful tomorrow.
It is. It's snuggling wetter. It's snuggling wetter.
Should we snuggle up here?
Oh, poor Maggie Wolfendale. She's out in the elements. Maggie, how you hanging in?
I want somebody to snuggle me. A snuggie would be nice right about now, that's for sure. As I'll check in with number 1, that is Stormy Song in here. And Gabby, you brought up a point a couple days ago about these partnerships, lighting and syndicates, lighting to bet their horses. Well, this one's from a big syndicate. I'm sure that's why she's taking a little bit of money. Once again, though, guys, she got a very quiet warm-up. We'll see. That one hole might wreak havoc on her. And then quickly, number 6, Lose Mimi. Love the warm-up she got underneath Irad Ortiz. Love the way she's moving over this track. Gabby.
Thank you very much, Maggie. And yes, it's going to be key that the one Stormy Song does break today after she had a bit of a lethargic break last time out. She can't afford to do that from the rail post position. But this is another important race in terms of those standings. We've got the trainer standings, a tight finish, the jockeys, the owners. The 2 Stay Fond is sent out by Todd Pletcher, who currently is atop the trainer standings. We'll see how the race unfolds as we go up to Larry Comas for the load and call.
And just one left to load now. She plays the field, and Joe Bravo coming up to the outside stall here. Steps forward and goes in, and they're all in line. They're off. Oh, very tangled start there for Libby's Tail. Libby's Tail had a very poor beginning here and is left behind the field. So it is going to be Bowtown Cat who goes out to the early lead and opens up to lead a length and a half over Kirby's Penny, away running in second. Stormy Song is third to the inside. Lose Mimi is fourth by another 3.5. And then it's Tasteful and Stay Fond on the inside. They're followed by Ms. Tutu. She plays the field. And after a disastrous start, Libby's Tail is last. 22.84 was that first quarter mile as they round the far turn. Bowtown Cat the leader. Kirby's Penny on the outside running along in second. Behind them is Stormy Song in third. Lose Mimi follows fourth by 2.5. And then Tasteful, she plays the field. Libby's Tail has gone by Stay Fond and Ms. Tutu. And they're coming to the top of the stretch here. And it is Bowtown Cat with the rail in the lead. But Kirby's Penny draws up alongside. Stormy Song is closing through along the inside. And farther out, Lose Mimi's trying to put in a bid too. Stay Fond has just kicked it in, but she's got a lot of work to do. And it is going to be Kirby's Penny. Kirby's Penny is getting away with every stride here under John Velasquez and goes on to win from Bowtown Cat. And then it was Lose Mimi, Stay Fond fourth in 1 minute 10.95.
Well, first off, the claim, Wesley Ward decided to turn this filly back in distance to the sprint distances, and it looks like it's paid off as she gets another victory going back-to-back here, guys.
She just relished the mud today as she showed in the race 2 back, and she was a dominating winner of this race. I misjudged her. She was much the best.
Yeah, she really was. I misjudged her, too. I didn't think she would be able to just rate sort of a little bit off the pace here and then never look like a loser at all. Johnny V sort of just, flags a stick at her and gone. We'll check the head on, see if any action's going on afterwards. But you can see the 6 spinning his wheels a tiny bit, spinning her wheels a tiny bit in the center of the racetrack. I thought the 2 ran on well here late.
She did run in late. And Libby's tail, obviously, very unlucky. And it shows you how things can change quickly. Michael Dubb wins a Grade 1 yesterday.
Yeah.
And in this race, he's got Libby's tail.
Wow.
And obviously, a disastrous start for this horse, losing all chance.
You can see she just leaps up into the air. And, I mean, tremendous job by Jose just to stay aboard and then just wrap her up and take care of her.
It's amazing she actually made a little run to get into not contention, but he's somewhere close in the stretch because she spotted the field quite a bit.
Yeah.
That's very interesting, just considering that it didn't appear that she stumbled out of the gate. She just kind of broke awkwardly, but I think it's safe to say that the 8 Kirby's Penny was much the best today and relishing the slop. Hadn't had much experience in it before, but an excellent performance from this 4-year-old filly, getting her 5th career start. 5th career win, excuse me, I should say. She gets the victory at 5-2. We'll have official order and prices in Winner Circle after this break. But it was just 4 years ago we saw Strong Mandate romp in the hopeful. The same connections are hoping to get their 3rd. They've got a chance with Sporting Chance after this.
Undefeated in sprint competition, Eclipse champion Run Happy captured 3 Grade 1 victories and set blistering speed records at both Keeneland and Saratoga. In the Breeders' Cup Sprint, he dominated the world's fastest runners, going 6 furlongs in a record-breaking 108 and change. The only horse nominated for 3 Eclipse Awards, Run Happy was crowned champion male sprinter, all the while racing 100% drug-free. Champion, millionaire, record breaker, Run Happy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
How do I see New York bred performance? Like this.
Disco.
Here's New York sire Disco Partner setting a new world record in the Jaipur.
Holy mackerel.
And they perform like multiple Grade 1 winner Mind Your Biscuits.
And he's pouring it on late.
Shown here, winning the Belmont Sprint Championship. And New York breds perform in the sales ring, where this filly sold for $750,000. Look for your registered New York performer at upcoming auctions.
Make NyraBets your home for online horse racing and betting. Use NyraBets to bet on live horse racing from around the world. Bet from anywhere, anytime using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Play in our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up at NyraBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus today. NyraBets, racing's best play. Use promo code PICK5 to get a $200 new member sign-up bonus on NyraBets.com.
Back on Saratoga Live, and That's a look at the winner walking back after her victory here in the 9th race. This 4-year-old filly by Macho Uno, recently claimed by Wesley Ward, turned her back in distance and was successful. She returns 7.90 for the victory there. An impressive performance, as we saw Johnny Velasquez in the saddle, absolutely relishing the track conditions today. We'll head down to Maggie, who's standing by with a special guest.
And Kent Spellman here, not able to attend, but I have a friend, a family friend. That's Peter Ryan, and probably a good idea Kent didn't come today. It's pretty wet out here, Peter.
Yeah, we brought the luck today. Kirby had a great race. Super excited.
And she's a filly that Kent reclaimed, and she was on the turf before for Wesley, and now she's found a nice home here on the main track.
Right, she's a promising young star. She loves running on the muddy dirt. She's had a lot of races where she's won in the rain, and this is her second. Last summer we were here, she won at Saratoga. She likes this track a lot. She runs well here, so she's a great young horse, and she has a great future.
I think she loves you.
Yeah, you know, this is our second. I was making $5 bets all day. I said, screw it, I'm going to spend what I made in the summer. I spent $240. Last second I went in, I put the $240 bet in, paid off. I love Kirby. That's my summer job, is to bet on this horse, so it went great.
You're out. You're out. You are done for the summer. You don't have to work anymore. Congratulations.
I'm all set. You know, I should have bet more. I could have gone to college off of that, but I'll take this.
All right, we got a pumped up Kirby's Penny fan here, Gabby.
Well, famous words of a better shoulda, coulda, woulda, right?
I just love it. I love the graphic, friend of owner.
I love it. Well, the New York Racing Association is the industry leader in providing Spanish language content. Luis Granderson provides both race calls and pre-race analysis every day. You can catch it on the Naira Now app, which brings you content in HD. This is yesterday's Spinaway.
Lady Banca ha dominado el comando y de atrás. Obvious 2 viene avanzando rápidamente. Maya Malibu viene avanzando. Lady Banca, 2 cuerpos adelante, llegando, ganando. Lady Banca se gana la estelar con Rudy Rodríguez. Segundo está arribando. Maya Malibu, tercero está finalizando.
Lady Ivanka getting the victory, newly minted Grade 1 winner in the Spinaway. And this was a competitive field, guys. Obviously, we saw Pure Silver, separation of powers. They took the bulk of the money, but this filly got a beautiful setup.
Yeah, she got a very good trip. But, you know, she wasn't far off of the quick pace in here. And the race kind of, in a way, fell apart towards the end. She's 2 for 2. Nice filly moving forward.
She is. She's a nice filly moving forward for Rudy Rod. Good ride, too, by Irad. The two horses that were getting bad, they really went at each other. I thought the Delaware filly ran okay on the rail for Graham Motion. I think she wants longer, too. Physically, she looked like she wants longer.
And it's kind of neat that 3 years ago, Michael Dubb won this race for Rudy Rodriguez with Condo Commando. And, of course, that's a race that's famous because it was Tom Durkin's last race call. And he said it was Splashtastic. And Mike Dubb later named a horse Splashtastic.
That was a great performance there. Congratulations to the winning connections. Mike Dubb and Rudy Rodriguez send out the winner there in Lady Ivanka. Well, we still have more Grade 1 action to come, and that's in the Hopeful Stakes. That's coming up tomorrow afternoon. Here's a look at the field. A field of 8 to compete for Grade 1 honors. Dwayne Lucas is hoping for a chance at 8 wins in this prestigious race, and the hope lies in Sporting Chance. With more, we go to Maggie.
No trainer has won the Hopeful more times than Hall of Famer Dwayne Lucas, as he will look for his 8th win in this prestigious Grade 1 as he sends out Robert Baker and William Max Sporting Chance.
75, 600, 600, 600. Hauling it on, aiming to go down, meeting over. 85, 75, aiming to go down, 60.
Well, he was our #1 pick in the sale, and we looked at about 3,000 horses, and it worked out this time. Doesn't always work out, but it did this time for us, and we thought he was special right from the get-go, and I sent him down to Randy Bradshaw, who worked for me all those years, and he broke him, and he called up and gave him good reviews, too. He said, I think you got a really nice colt here. And when we got him, he didn't disappoint us. He obviously has done everything that we've asked of him so far. He's a very professional horse, very easy to train. There's no difficulty at all in training him, and he does everything, but he does it almost so methodically that you wonder if he's even focused. But so far, he's been doing pretty good.
After finishing second in his debut at Churchill Downs to Nick's Out Stakes winner Dak Attack, Sporting Chance broke his maiden in a sharp effort here opening weekend.
Sporting Chance has run away here. Give me a minute. It's going to be second. Sporting Chance by 3.
I think the best part of that was the fact that he took the pressure, and then when the running really got serious at the top of the stretch, he was able to split horses. Now, a lot of 2-year-olds won't do that. They may have the ability to accelerate, but they don't want to split 2 horses. He actually took the heat, did all the heavy lifting, and then kicked on with it. And actually, I thought he got a little disinterested at the wire after he got the lead. And he does that in the morning. He gets a little bit disinterested if he's not in a competitive situation.
Deposit ticket gets clear by about 4. Then Hansel is second. On the extreme outside is Valenza. Link on the rail. Deposit ticket in front.
Lucas's first hopeful victory came back in 1990 with Deposit Ticket when a 23-year-old Todd Pletcher served as his stable foreman. Out in his own for over 20 years, Pletcher trains the likely favorite for this year's hopeful in Zayat Stables' Mojovation, going up against his old boss.
I think Todd was involved with 2 or 3 of them. Dallas Stewart, who has a horse in the Hope Falls, who certainly was involved with a couple of them. And so they've had an influence in those wins too, I'm sure. But I can't pitch them any slack now. They're on their own. We're going to have to try to kick their
Some expletives there from Hall of Famer Dwayne Lucas. And, well, those competitive juices continue to flow, and rightly so, guys. He's trying to get his 8th win in the Hopeful Stakes. His last one was in 2013 with Strong Mandate, which was a romp.
And there's some serious names in that list, including Hennessy. And I'm really old, so I was around for all Wayne stuff. You're like an old-timer when it comes to horse playing, Paul. You remember when Wayne just ruled.
No, true. And I think a lot of people forget how good of a horse Salt Lake was. Absolute bullet out of the gate. So Dwayne's had some good ones, and I think this horse has got a legit shot. Listen, his horses now at his age, he doesn't have that many horses that he used to have or the power he used to have. But when you're spending $575,000 and the one strength that Dwayne Lucas has, he could pick out a horse.
Listen, that race is wide open. You look to that race and you feel like just about anyone can win there.
Well, Dwayne Lucas has always had a lot of students go through his program, and one of them is trainer Todd Pletcher. He, of course, was the former assistant to Dwayne Lucas, and Todd Pletcher won last year's Adirondack with Nana Mela, and this filly hopes to keep her success here at Saratoga later on in the Prioress.
How do I see New York bred performance? Like this.
Disco.
Here's New York sire Disco Partner setting a new world record in the Jaipur.
Holy mackerel.
And they perform like multiple Grade 1 winner Mind Your Biscuits.
And he's pouring it on late.
Shown here, winning the Belmont Sprint Championship. And New York breds perform in the sales ring, where this filly sold for $750,000. Look for your registered New York performer at upcoming auctions.
Change the way you watch racing forever with the new Naira Now app. Live racing in English or Spanish. From a variety of camera angles, race replays, talking horses, race analysis, and a multitude of on-demand content, all in high definition. Naira Now is available on many platforms, including iOS, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and more coming soon. Download Naira Now today, free in the App Store, and start watching the best racing like never before.
good.
Welcome back to Saratoga Live, and it looks like a little game of follow the leader there with their John Deere tractors, making sure the track is in tip-top form on this Sunday afternoon. Well, the Prioress is coming up, and you can earn a 10% winner's bonus on your trifecta bet in this race. If you hit the trifecta on your mobile device through your account, you'll earn a 10% winner's bonus. Visit NyraBets.com to see the daily promotions and to bet all the racing at Saratoga. Well, coming up next, 18 minutes to go here. We've got the Grade 2 Prioress, and this is going to be a great field. Right now, though, we have lukewarm favorite is the 3, Dawn the Destroyer, but the 6, Dawn the Destroyer at 3-1. But, guys, wouldn't you say that maybe the 4, Nonamela, could be the horse to beat?
Yeah, I'm befuddled by this race, to be honest with you. This is an extremely competitive field, and I can understand exactly why the board looks like this.
Well, they're betting the 6. I think now the 8's clicked down to the favorite, which I do like the 8, but that's a ridiculous price. The horse is undefeated, and this is a big step up in class for that filly. The 4, Nonamela, was she good last time? Yes, but she got an easy lead after breaking bad, and just when you break that bad, you're just much the best. But then Andy made a good point. She jogged in the Adirondack. She chased some fast fractions after bobbling the start in the Frisette. This was just her being just overclassing her rivals.
Yeah, listen, I could see her winning, but you're right, though, Paul. She's going to face a completely different scenario today. There's so much speed in this race. She's not going to be able to control. It's a wet track. Maybe she'll handle it. She can win. Listen, I'm not going to – I picked her 3rd. I think she could easily win this race. I think most of them can win.
I'll tell you what. That stride doesn't look like it wants to go farther than 6 furlongs.
Well, it's a good point, and you bring up some points about Nonamela as well, that she won the Adirondack last year, and she obviously ran in the Frisette, but we really haven't seen those 2-year-olds kind of improve in their 3-year-old season, so isn't that something to be concerned about?
Silver Tony's average, right?
Yeah, listen, you know, if she improved off her last, she could win here. You know, I'll say one thing about Downtown Mama. She can't win this race if she runs like she had beating Little Miss Business. I like Little Miss Business, but she's not as good as some of these. But when Linda Rice's horses are getting bet strongly at this meet, they are running.
They're running, you're right. And you got to like a horse that's undefeated. She broke her maiden over a muddy racetrack. She's been doing it pretty professional, and if you like to bet a gray on a rainy day, this is where you maybe want to go. She gets a little wandery here, off her long lead. I don't know if she's getting tired or if she's just sort of like, what's going on? Is anybody coming after me? That's my worry. I kept watching this race going, is she lost or is she tired? Again, a lot of these fillies, they haven't shown like they've finished with a flourish home.
Well, at least in her first start, she did rate. And do you guys foresee her being on the lead today, or do you think maybe the inside horse, the rail post, could maybe beat her to the punch?
She could, but she's got the stalking position. So with her outside post, she can stalk on the outside. And we were talking about this off camera. I'm watching some of these races, and I'm wondering if you're not a little bit better off, a little bit outside of the rail as the day has progressed.
Yeah, that's true. And she has shown a affinity to rate. And you know what? You got to like about her too, Gabby. She's won twice from the outside and she won from the rails. So she's shown some versatility.
She is versatile, but getting that win going wire to wire last time out. We'll take a look at the 6, Dawn the Destroyer here for Kieran McLaughlin. And the thing that's working for this filly, well, at least she's got experience on a wet track.
I like her name. She's got a great name, Dawn the Destroyer. You know, she likes a wet track, as you say. She actually finished when she finished behind Kirby's Penny, who won the last race impressively. She was badly interfered with in mid-stretch in that race. I think she's a player in this race. I'll tell you one thing, Paul. She has really improved since switching to Kieran McLaughlin's barn.
I tell you what, I wrote down on this ride, If you go back and you watch this ride, Joel Rosario would have lost this race. He would have never, ever rode this filly again. She was 10 lengths the best. He had her in front, backed her all the way back to last, and he rolled the dice up the pine and got lucky to win the race.
He was confident.
It was the weirdest ride I've ever seen.
It was weird. The rail was good that day, though, coming up the inside, but I still think she's a big-time player here.
Yeah, she's a big-time player in here.
Well, she is making her third start off the layoff and cutting back a little bit from 7/8 last time out where she won. Maggie, what did you think of the 6, Dawn the Destroyer?
Here in the paddock, Gabby, Dawn the Destroyer, she looks fantastic. To me, she looks like the horse to beat, and I really like the fact that she has her last 2 races, well, over the same exact track that she'll get here today. So she's well-versed in handling very sloppy, wet tracks. And, you know, Karen McLaughlin said that she will be one that's coming from off the pace here today. There looks to be a lot of pace, at least on paper. We'll see how that develops. But citing that Joel Rosario, who rode her last time, said that she didn't really care for being up on the lead. That's why you saw her kind of back and forth as far as through the running of that race. So I like Dawn the Destroyer. To me, she would be my pick. Moving on to number 5, that is Vertical Oak. She possesses the highest, at least Beyer figure on a sloppy track of this field going back to April at Prairie Meadows, albeit at Prairie Meadows, I should say. But today is one of the best times I've ever seen this filly look. I know she's coming in off of what was somewhat of a disappointing effort in the test, but that was going 7/8. That was against very, very good fillies, and she was dueling on the front end. I think she's sharp. She looks stronger having come out of that race, and she gets back to the 6. She's certainly a player given the track condition. Next, move on to the 4, Nona Mella, coming off of that win off the bench, and to me, she looks like an even tighter filly. So that race really kind of put her where she needs to be. We'll see how she negotiates a 6 furlong. She should not have a problem with it, and I think she'll be able to rate this time as she has shown she can do in her previous efforts as a 2-year-old. Plus, Gabby, she likes it here at the Spa.
She sure does, Maggie. She's 2 for 2, hoping to keep that undefeated record in the Prioress, of course, the winner of the Grade 2 Adirondack last year. That's the 8, Downtown Mama, and well, this filly's got a streak on the line too. She's undefeated in 3 starts. The big test will be today in the Prioress, and she has the girl power behind her, including Lady Sheila Stable and Linda Rice. We'll get to this up next.
Make NyraBets your home for online horse racing and betting. Use NyraBets to bet on live horse racing from around the world. Bet from anywhere, anytime using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Play in our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up at NyraBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus today. NyraBets, racing's best play. Use promo code PICK5 to get a $200 new member sign-up bonus on NyraBets.com.
Back on Saratoga Live as the field is getting ready to hit the track here for the Grade 2 Prioress, our feature race of the day. But before we get to that, I wanted to check in on the Saratoga Showdown contest and looking at that here right now. Well, We have number 1. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. El Webby?
I don't know.
That's a good sign.
Huckleberries. Oh, the web.
We've got
spider.
our spider friend on our desk here, so maybe that's a good sign. The one El Webby, and currently tied with Quinny Bob as well. But we still have this race and the finale left to go. Again, go to SaratogaShowdown.com for more information on that. And we're coming up here on the post parade for the Grade 2 Prioress. We're going 6 furlongs on the main track. This post parade is brought to you by OCD Pellets, celebrating their 10th anniversary of supporting the equine industry with their 2-in-1 boat and joint supplement. For more information, visit OCDPellets.com. Here's one Student Body, trained by Christopher Davis, James Graham, and the saddle.
An interesting shipper coming off a 94 buyer with an impressive win at Ellis Park.
Scratch the 2, we get to the 3. Golden Mischief, one of the Steve Asmussen trainees, exiting the victory ride last out.
She will benefit from pace.
Todd Pletcher sends out the 4. Nonamela, Javier Castellano in the saddle, 7-2.
2 of her 3 wins have been here at the Spa, and she's the speed of the speed.
And the 5, Vertical Oak, the other Steve Asmussen trainee. She's been chasing American Gal around the racetrack the past 2 starts.
She's one of the speeds as well, and she's fast early. You're right, she gets class relief or talent relief.
And your lukewarm favorite, the 6, Dawn the Destroyer. She's got experience on a wet track. Shouldn't phase her for Kieran McLaughlin.
No, not at all. I thought she was very impressive last time, and she's sharp right now, and I think that's why the public has her as your favorite.
Trainer Dave Canizzo having a good day, and he sends out the 7, Royal Inheritance, a speedy filly in her own right.
Like the 6, Dawn the Destroyer, she's stepping off of a win in an allowance race.
And the 8, Downtown Mama, owned by Lady Sheila Stable and is conditioned by Linda Rice.
Can never knock an undefeated horse, and as they always say, maybe better gray on a rainy day.
You could very well see that. And the 9, Yorkie Poo Princess does round out the field. A nice price at 14-1.
My ridiculous selection in the Prioress. I think she's an interesting horse that can take advantage of the pace, and she may be a little better than she looks at first glance.
Well, you say that she might be a little bit better than what she looks on paper. Andy, what do you like about this filly?
Well, you know, you look at her 6 furlong race, 2 back in the dirt. Forget about her last race in the turf. And in that race, she got a very slow pace when Vertical Oak didn't come out of the gate. And you can see how slow the pace was. And she actually made a move into that race. You go back to a race like this, the Ruthless at Aqueduct, the race before that, the Furlough. She was running figures that actually give her a chance in this race. She's had some time to develop. And to me, she's been mostly running in the wrong races, or she got very unlucky 2 back. And my feeling was this is such a competitive, difficult race. If I've got an idea on a horse that's going to be a big price, I've got to bet on that horse because I just feel like this race is wide open. $20 to win on Yorkie Poo Princess.
Irad's rode her 4 times. She's won 3 times for him. I mean, it's not the worst stab at all.
It's great to get him back aboard
Yeah.
her. I agree. She's a funny horse that was entered in a race here last year, and it was a huge tip, and she was in an entry. And she scratched in the post parade, and the other half of the entry won the race for Eddie Barker. But she really was the goods of the entry.
And there she is breaking away from the pony with Irad Ortiz in the saddle. We'll see what she can do at a big price as we get to the 5, Vertical Oak. And Andy, Steve Asmussen sends out 2 horses. Which do you think is stronger? Where do you think Vertical Oak kind of fits in the picture here?
It's a good question. It's interesting she's 5-1 because she's actually favored in doubles. She's the best one in her best race, and that's that good wet track race, Paul. But the other one's a much better price, and she's a little interesting too.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I think Golden Mischief's a way better proposition than Vertical Oak, and I'll tell you why. She's beat her 3 times. 3 times. How many times you need to see it? You want to see it the 4th time today? I don't know. But Vertical Oak has that one maybe dressed up race at Prairie Meadows with a 94 buyer where Golden Mischief has beaten her 3 times. And I think it's faced the better. Golden Mischief's a 3 at 12-1. Her stablemate is 5-1. I really don't get it.
Yeah, I think you're going to see Vertical Oak come down in odds. I mean, the fact that she's a very slight favorite over Nona Mel in the doubles, usually the betting in the pool sort of drifts towards the double money, so expect her to be lower. This is kind of the most interesting promising horse in the race.
She looks great, too. We can see her warming up on the track right now, this 3-year-old filly by Colonel John. Conditioned by Chris Davis, and for those who might not be familiar with the trainer, well, he was previously the assistant to trainer Mike Stidham and Phil D'Amato, and he comes from a family of horsemen. This filly was impressive last time out.
She was, and I'll tell you, she got that 94 buyer. It's not phony. And you look at the other horses in that race, they ran to their numbers. This was a very impressive performance. The one thing that worries is me, she's being the big girls, and she's got to break, and she may end up dueling on the inside, which on this racetrack might not do her any favors.
Yeah, it might not do her any favors. You're right. But you got to give her credit, Gabby. You run 108-1. I don't care where it's at, on cement or anywhere. You're running fast.
And I love to see shippers do well.
How could you gauge that field, though? Do you think it was okay? Would that field stack up against her competition today?
No, but she beat them by 11 lengths, and I think they ran to their figures in there, justifying the 94 buyer.
Well, we mentioned on our screens, at least, Student Body looks fantastic, but with a closer look, we head out to Maggie.
And Gabby actually got to catch up with her Student Body's trainer, Chris Davis, in the paddock, and he's just so in awe of his filly here. He said that, well, she's carried him through his first year of training. I was actually down at the fairgrounds and watched Chris with his horses, and he gets on every single one of them every morning, and he said that she is so classy acting. She feels like a ball that's going to explode, but she manages to contain it and just focus it towards running fast. And you could see that. You could see that in the warm-up beneath jockey James Graham. He gave her a nice, big, open gallop. She framed herself up beautifully. As I like to say, she looks like that coiled spring, just about to explode. I agree completely with Andy in that she's gonna have a tough task. She's probably getting on the front end and she's down on the rail. Not ideal, but I do like and respect this filly. Would love to see her run well for her trainer, Chris Davis. He's just in love with this filly, guys.
Well, if she gets a grade 2 victory, might be even more love. What? Cornheads?
Wait. It went from coneheads to cornheads.
I like it.
That's the Paul Duca fan club, isn't it?
That's not Brett
How have
Favre.
those guys not been over here by the studio to see you, Paul?
What is going on? That has to be a fantasy football tradition.
Awesome.
Something's going on. I've seen some guys dressed up here. They come here every summer to do something like this. God knows the story behind it, but I'd like to offer them a couple shekels for one of those hats.
And it's great that they're here. It's a lousy day out, but they're here in Saratoga having a great time.
And it looks like a nice warm knit cap. You can't say anything bad about that on this chilly day, that's for sure. We look at the 3 Golden Mischief, Steve Asmussen. We were talking about his other entrant in here in Vertical Oak, and you guys kind of had the feeling that she might be the stronger one, at least from an odds perspective, a betting proposition.
I'd rather take 13 to 1 on the 3 than a third of the price on the 5.
Yeah. You know, listen, my check mark is on the 8. It's tough for me to bet the 8 at 7-2. The 3 to me is a better proposition, Downtown Mama. I mean, at 7-2, where I think the 3 Golden Mischief at 13-1. I didn't think so. I really thought Golden Mischief would get played. That race on the muddy racetrack in the 8 Bells was a good field, and she got left. I feel the more I look at her page, that was her best race. I think she likes the slop.
I ran a trainer, Eddie Barker, the other day, and he trains Yorkie Blue Princess, and Eddie is about as confident in his horses as anyone could ever be, so I was shocked to hear he loves her in today's race.
Well, that's always a good sign, a nice stamp of approval. You can see Jose Ortiz right there, and he is, if you can kind of see him, he's hiding behind one of the outriders there, but of course Jose Ortiz is atop the jockey standings here, and what a tremendous season and year he has had.
He's quickly turned into as good a rider as there is in the country. I mean, he had a sensational year. I think he led the country in wins last year, and this year he's added those grade 1s to it. He is a leading player for the Eclipse.
No, he's not phony. Listen, I've been in California for a while, and I've paid attention to Jose Ortiz, but not the way I've been paying attention to him here. Wow. The anticipation factor, his timing, just a lot of things he does right.
You get a feeling with him that he is always prepared.
Absolutely. This is a guy who definitely does his homework, and between Jose Ortiz and his older brother Irad Ortiz, well, they're pretty much impossible to beat individually, but put them together and they're definitely impossible to beat, especially up here at Saratoga, both of them having phenomenal meets, 1 and 2 in the leading jockey standings right now. As we get set and ready to go, that is the 8 Downtown Mama for trainer Linda Rice. She had a nice victory yesterday. This horse is owned by Lady Sheila Stable. But a competitive field. The 4 Nona Mela is sent out by Todd Pletcher. Can he get another win? We'll find out as we head up to Larry Comas for the call.
Ready for the start. They're off in the Prioress. Vertical Oak, Golden Mischief, Student Body on the inside. Student Body to the front. And Student Body will set the pace here and get away to lead by a length. Vertical Oak is running in second. Downtown Mama's third on the outside by another 2. Then Royal Inheritance, followed by Nona Mela and Golden Mischief on the inside. Yorkie Poo Princess is next, and Dawn the Destroyer is last through that first quarter in 22.21 seconds. It is Student Body on top as the field rounds the far turn. Vertical Oak is pressing the pace on the outside second. Downtown Mama a length and a half behind with 3 furlongs to go. After that, it's Royal Inheritance. Nona Mela to the inside is 3 from the front. Yorkie Poo Princess wide. Golden Mischief and Dawn the Destroyer, and they're into the stretch. Student Body and Vertical Oak are stride for stride, and trying to come up the rail is Nona Mela. Farther out, Royal Inheritance is next. Extreme outside, Golden Mischief, but it is Vertical Oak. Vertical Oak is opened up here to a 4-length lead. Golden Mischief takes second. Student Body, Nona Mela next, but it is going to be Vertical Oak and John Velasquez to win the Prioress. It was Nona Mela second, a late move from Dawn the Destroyer, who may have been third in a photo with Golden Mischief in 1:10 flat.
Well, she exits the Grade 1 test and gets a Grade 2 victory in the Prioress here for trainer Steve Asmussen. Vertical Oak keeping her face clean, just sitting from off the pace in the clear.
Getting away from that monster American gal held Vertical Oak. She obviously loves the wet track, and she was terrific today.
Yeah, you make a great point. She was giant last time against American Gal. American Gal might be the best, at least 3-year-old sprinter in the country for when it comes to fillies, and she's just going to beat this field. And Asmussen almost runs 1-2 here, as Golden Mischief did, run to her odds or outrun her odds, but I think she's going to be third best here. The 4 is going to sneak up the rail, but no doubt we've seen a couple open length winners here.
She was very impressed. She was just an hour and a half the best in this race. The one, I'll tell you what, Student Body, because she's fast. I mean, she came flying out of there, but this is a big class test for her. Nona Mela ran fine to be second. The winner was just so much the best.
And we saw Nona Mela kind of down on the inside there. Do you think that that is the best place on the track to be?
No, I don't think so. But considering how well she ran, it's probably not that bad. It just seems like the horses we've seen running, and maybe it's just situational, have been a little bit off the rail. Not way off it, but a little bit.
You see the head on. I'm trying to see the head on. Steve Asmussen with those luscious locks. The 8 and the 9 and the 7 sort of broke out in this race, but the 6 was the one that sort of got home. So all your 3 favorites run 1, 2, 3 here.
It's amazing. Steve hasn't had a huge amount of wins to meet, but he's won some big races.
He's won the important ones, including the Grade 1 Whitney and the Woodward yesterday with Gun Runner, who has just continued to thrive and get better and better. And Vertical Oak, well, she gets out of Grade 1 company and gets a graded stakes win for the Connections. We'll take a quick break here, and when we come back, we'll get you prices and some winner circle action. That is Steve Asmussen, a happy man this weekend with a couple of graded wins. Up next.
Claiborne Farms Flatter is carrying the flag for AP Indy, rewarding breeders in the sales ring and on the track. Among the nation's leading sires by Grade 1 stakes horses in 2016, this year's stars include Terrace, Upstart, Kobe's Back, Amy's Flatter, and most recently, Paola Queen, winner of the Grade 1 test stakes at Saratoga. Success on the track has led to big numbers in the auction ring as well, with yearlings this year selling up to $425,000. Flatter at Claiborne Farm.
And they're off. NyraBet's Pick 5 is now available exclusively online at NyraBets.com. Bet the NyraBet's Pick 5 every race day with a 15% takeout on the last 5 races on the card from the country's best racing at Belmont and Saratoga. Find it nationwide on NyraBets.com right in the Bet Type drop-down menu or at any Nyra track or New York OTB location. NyraBet's Pick 5, racing's best bet.
Back on Saratoga Live, and that's just a little peek of this glorious town that Saratoga Racecourse is in. Saratoga Springs, right there is the National Museum of Racing Hall of Fame. Definitely go out and check that out if you're in town. Here are the official results for the Grade 2 Prioress. Of course, 5 Vertical Oak getting the victory for trainer Steve Asmussen. And a good weekend for Johnny Velasquez with 4 victories yesterday, 3 today, but standing by with the winning trainer. We head down to the winner's circle with Maggie.
And Gabby, I'd say it was a pretty good weekend for Steve and his stable as well. As you take the Grade 2 Prioress here, Steve, and Vertical Oak, she seemed to relish this wet going.
Well, she definitely did. This second time she's been in the slop, and both of them have been very impressive victories. So obviously with the rain today, it suited her. Backing up to 3/4 with against nice 3-year-old fillies, thought she ran really well.
She did. She cleared away from the field, and one that really cleared away from the field is obviously your star, and that's Gun Runner with the Woodward. As we were just talking off camera, he's just so confident right now.
He really is. He's very proud of himself, really likes his job. We're just so fortunate to be associated with a quality horse, and what a great ride he's given us.
And obviously you said he's bright and happy this morning, and seems to be a horse that is gaining confidence and gaining kind of a new dimension as well, where he can sit off the pace.
Well, I think that, from the beginning of this year, he's shown a little more speed, just a little stronger and been there. But for Florent to ask him to hold his position early and then for him to turn off as nice as he did in the middle and just be relaxed and look like he did through the wire after very solid fractions, it gives us a lot of confidence going forward and feel like moving out to the 1.25 miles right now, the timing's perfect.
And that was my next question. Is it on to the Breeders' Cup from this effort?
Yes, that will be his next start. Right now we're debating when to leave here, when to get there, and if there's a stopover in the middle. I want to, get out of here before we grow a winter coat, but not get there before it cools off a bit.
Well, these are good things to worry about. Steve, congratulations on your big weekend.
Oh, thank you very much.
Gabby?
Well, thanks, Maggie. And that does seem to be the plan for Gun Runner going into the Breeders' Cup Classic, training him into the race.
He makes a very good point. I think a lot of people are not making this point. You're only about a half a mile from the beach at Del Mar. At that time of the year, it can get a little chilly, and I think it will help a lot of the horses from the East Coast coming out there, where it's gotten a little bit hotter at Santa Anita. It's going to be a little bit cooler, and that might help a horse like Gun Runner.
I went to Del Mar last year in the fall meet.
Yeah,
it was freezing.
Yeah, it gets cold.
Yeah.
So I think it's good for the East-based horses. Gab, from coming from a family, when you ship horses to Santa Anita, right now they're getting 105-degree weather. It can be difficult. I think when it comes to Breeders' Cup time at Del Mar, it's going to be nice and cool because it's right by the water.
Well, it just goes to show you all of the elements that go into training a horse and kind of planning, right? Even right down to weather and growing a coat.
By the way, there's guys at Del Mar that still handicap to tide. That still goes, my friend. You ever heard that angle?
I think I used to talk about it at Gulfstream a little bit. They would say that maybe the track changed a little bit.
It changes. They do
because of
tide.
the tides coming in.
Hey.
I'm not that smart. Clearly.
All right. Well, of course, always thankful for one of our main sponsors here in Run Happy. Saratoga Live is brought to you by champion sprinter Run Happy. And if you didn't know, Run Happy won at 6 different tracks, scoring on both all-weather and dirt surfaces, all while racing 100% drug-free. Undefeated in sprint competition, Run Happy set the stakes record in the King's Bishop and set the record at Keeneland, winning the 2015 Breeders' Cup Sprint. He now stands at Claiborne Farm, one of the many incredible stallions on their roster. And this is a look at Mattress Mac, of course, Jim McIngvale, and a tweet by Mattress Mac, so grateful for the outpouring of support and love. Come see me today at Gallery Furniture 6006. And what a tremendous thing he has done for Texas and Houston in general.
No question about it. He really, stepped it up at a very important time.
Yeah, he's a big, listen, he's a big man in the Houston area, has donated a ton of money. Tom Arnold, the actor, have so many charitable friends in Houston, but Jim Mattress Mac McIngvale is a gosh dang American hero. That's some good stuff. When you get tweets like that from some of your peers, James has been a staple in Houston, and he's doing some great things.
No question.
And he did say that he will keep the people at his furniture stores for as long as they need to be there. So a tremendous thing that McIngvale has done. And we had the opportunity to have Jim McIngvale on our show. We've had many memorable moments here on the show. So we'll take a look at the 40 days that has transpired here at Saratoga. Take a look at those incredible moments.
They're off at Saratoga.
Have you ever had a horse finish a race with 5 shoes?
Slow learner, but his last time from the gate was very, very quick. Let's try to put him in the race in some way, shape, or form. Sit and see if we can't make a run in this group.
It's Jose Ortiz again. Oh, what a day. A 5-win day, and what a ride in the nightcap on Tusk.
And this is the story of us. Astronomy matters in some way to each and every one of us here, and every single second of this day, we were able to be a part of it. That's pretty darn special, to say the least.
West Coast goes wire to wire in the Trevors. Song's gonna win it and win it clear under the wire. Voodoo Song holds on. Voodoo Song to win it by a length and a half. Here comes the wire. Voodoo Song loves the spa. He won the Saranac. Lady Eli winning the Boston Spa. What a heroine she is. Quick is faster than them all. Woodward. He won it by 8 lengths over Rally Crying and Neolithic in a final time of 1 minute 47.43 seconds.
Well, there we are. A back shot there, guys. Hi.
You can see how bald I am from the back. It's not fair.
Oh, from solar eclipses to lucky horseshoes. This has been a pretty memorable meet, huh?
No, this has been fun for me. Listen, this is my first time, with you guys. I've had an absolute blast. I feel like all my cousins are out here. They keep saying hi to me, all these Met fans. But the people and the eclecticness you get, the people from Vermont to Chicago to Boston that come here every year, Andy, it just gets better and better.
It's a truly magical place. You show all those great things that happen. You look back and you say, wow, look at all this stuff that happened. But you got to be in Saratoga, too, to appreciate it. And I hope that people watching the show that haven't been, they get a chance to come and visit us here. It's just such a special place to be. We're very lucky to be here.
It's a festival. It really is a true festival. It's so cool.
It's a magical place, and if you're ever here, I definitely suggest going on the backstretch as well. That's probably my favorite part of Saratoga is going on the backstretch and just seeing these animals train in the morning.
Can I get one for you? The fried dough truck.
Fried dough truck.
It's a
It's very healthy.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's hair on your chest.
I'm not allowed to eat that. Dave won't let me.
Good stuff, guys. Well, we have 15 grade 1s in the book, and we still have one more left to come. That's a look at Mojovation, who will try to get a grade 1 score for trainer Todd Pletcher. That's coming up tomorrow.
The big day is here. You've told everybody. You've dressed the part. Your heart is pounding in your chest. Your horse is rolling down the stretch. He's coming. He's closing. He's the winner! You're a winner with Parting Glass Racing. PartingGlassRacing.com. PartingGlassRacing.wow.
You're watching Saratoga Live as we'll be getting to the 11th and final race momentarily here. But first, we had the opportunity a few weeks back to get a unique insider's look at what goes on for a trainer when they send out a horse on race day. And Lone Sailor was sent out by trainer Tom Amoss. He would go on to finish 5th. Here's what Tom Amoss had to say after the race.
Yeah, so you know what, guys? The race didn't back up well. When the winner comes back, as well as the horse that was 2nd and 3rd, you're going to see that their silks weren't even dirty at all. And you're going to have to go back to my horse to see some really dirty silks. That's him way on the outside. I don't know if you're getting this replay or not, if you're looking at me. But he actually makes up some ground in the end. This was a good educational debut for my horse. You know, now we have to move forward from that, and hopefully that happens.
Well, Lone Sailor, Tom did say that this horse probably wanted some experience, a good educational race.
Sailor and
oh, here's how it paid off.
And they're Lone on the lead. They've got a 5-length lead here. Then Mad Money's and Infield is in on the outside. But it is Lone Sailor splish splashing home at the spa, winning it easily by 9 lengths, and from way back, Campaign got 2nd from dead last.
This was a very savvy move by our friend Tom Amoss, because this horse was entered as main track only for a turf race. It came off the turf and won going 7/8. Plan worked out, huh?
This was really exciting for Tom. He picked this horse out of the yearling sale. You know, and you see, I mean, he laid it out for everybody.
Yeah.
Not only did he show people saddling the horse and did this incredible job, but he basically said the horse wasn't acting great in the paddock, and this horse probably needed one, and pointed out. And I know that there had to be a lot of people that watched that show that came back and made money today, and that's terrific.
No, it's good stuff, because, you know, us sitting next to Tom every day when he comes and does his job, we see the work that he puts in. He has a beat on his horses, and you wonder why he's a leading winner when it comes to trainer. I mean, he said, boom, boom, boom. He noticed that the other 3 horses didn't have anything on their silks. Mine did, got out of the race. The horse won. He would not have entered the horse back in here. He's a realist. That's the one thing I love about Tom. He places his horses where they think they're going to win.
It's amazing. He is has the highest win percentage of any trainer that's won over $3,000 races, 26%. It's absolutely remarkable.
And he did a great job with this horse, as you guys said. He knew that the horse might not behave in the paddock first time out. It is not easy to saddle a horse on the walk, first and foremost, but also to explain what's happening as it's going on. So incredible job by Tom.
I wish he was as good on TV as he is a trainer, but you can't be everything.
Right?
We knew we wouldn't get past this segment without a knock from Andy on Tom Amoss. So at least that's out of the way.
Love you, Tom.
And we can get to the 11th and final race. A wide open maiden special weight by every definition of that term, Maggie.
That it is, as you have a good mix-up between horses who have experience and those who do not. Wow, you can see my breath. Anyway, it's only September 3rd here at Saratoga, as we'll take a look at those first-time starters in looking at number 2, that is Zygmunt, for trainer Karen McLaughlin. Now, he is the son of Freud, and the dam was good on the turf. So obviously, maybe this doesn't end up being his preferred surface, but there isn't anything really holding him back. He's actually a smaller, more agile type of horse that is fairly upright in his pasture, and so he might like this surface. We'll see. He's also very well prepared here, very fit, great coat to him. Fairly optimistic about Zygmunt, though he is wearing blinkers, just a shortcut for his debut. And as I've said, kind of the guys like Kieran McLaughlin, Todd Pletcher, when they're wearing blinkers at first asking, well, I just kind of question that to their overall speed ability. Moving on to number 4, that is Brock Moninoff, for trainer George Weaver. Now going back to his Fasig-Tipton Mid-Atlantic Sale workout, he worked 10-1, not much urging. He is very quick, very rapid. The only kind of flaw I could pick out in him is that he hits the ground pretty hard. That I didn't love that. He is wearing front bandages. That could just be because he is on a sloppy track here. But we'll see how he handles it. Like I said, he looks as though he may have some speed. And then we'll move on to number 6 here. That is Scoopsy Potato. Okay. Another one that sold at the Fasig-Tipton Mid-Atlantic Sale. Now, he worked very slowly, hence his $6,000 sale price. 10-4. kind of a big, awkward, gangly type of horse. That's what I'm seeing here. But he does attract Javier Castellano to the irons. I think there might be some ability somewhere in this horse. I just don't know if we're going to see it first time out, Gabby.
Well, thanks, Maggie. He better run well, given a name like that, Scoopsy Potato, right?
It's a great name. I called Nostradamus this morning to see if he had any idea who was going to win this race. He hung up on me.
Probably a good move, but we'll try to provide you some insight. Great stuff by Maggie in the paddock. The 5 Engineers report, though, at least this horse has experience on the main track.
I agree. She didn't run very. He didn't run very well in there. It was a wet track, but you know, experience could count for a lot. I feel like if we can pick the winner of this race, you get a gold star on your forehead.
There's really only one horse you can really show in this race that did anything. That's the 12. Engineers report left a tiny bit, showed a little speed, so. Maybe gets to the front end. I have a feeling.
Experience is very important, Paul.
But here's the thing: the horse that gets to the front end here is going to be tough.
that could be that may be the most prophetic statement we'll have here at all. I picked the 9 anything passable here, and here was my thinking. The workout was kind of okay at the 2-year-old sale, at least from my eye, from my ridiculous eye. They were kind of asking the horse to run. You could look at it here, Paul. I looked at the pedigree and I thought this horse really doesn't have much turf pedigree. Now maybe the horse hasn't shown much and they tried turf because the horse worked okay in synthetic. But maybe Rob Falcone thought that weather report on Sunday is pretty ugly. I'm going to take a shot. This race comes off and I find a vulnerable field.
This horse got a big shot. 7-1, first time starter, and you look at the first public work for this horse, the fastest one, 48-4. They went one other time faster out of the gate, 48. So basically he tipped his hand twice the horse can run. The other times they put the horse on the turf, obviously thinking they were going to be on the turf today, but 2 fast enough works for me to warrant a bet at 7-1.
And you have to obviously question about some of these also eligibles who draw in off the AE list, and that are they just happy that this race came off the turf and they could get into the race? There's a lot of questions going on in this race, but wanted to check in with that Saratoga Showdown free online contest. Chief Digger right now is on the top with 249.
Big move to the top. Jumped ahead.
And also, just wanted to remind everybody about that as well, about the Saratoga Showdown. Tomorrow will be the last day that you can participate in this. Of course, it is closing day at Saratoga, and they will draw for the winner on Wednesday afternoon. We will provide the winner, the results of the winner on Friday, of course, opening day at Belmont. So still a lot to come. And we see the Cornheads again, guys.
I love
They're having
it.
a great time.
Ezekiel Elliott, Eaton.
Oh, the One Lake party there. Jockey changed to Irad Ortiz. He takes the spot of Kendrick Carmouche for trainer Gary Contessa.
Shows how much Irad is trying to gain on his brother to win this jockey title, and he picked up the mount on that one.
And the 2 Zigman in the Zilla Racing Stables Silks draws the rail for Kieran McLaughlin.
Steady works and debuts with Lasix, not getting dismissed at the window here at 5-1.
Fair Archer makes his second start. First start was on the main track. Blinkers go on.
Prediction: we make a score when this horse hits the turf.
All right. Let's do it. The 4 Brockmaninoff here for George Weaver, first-time starter. Eric Hensel in the saddle.
A new sire and smart bid. He's 0 for 4 with his debuters, and this one right here is not getting dismissed either, 8-1.
Engineers report right now at 9-1. Manny Franco having a nice day on the card, sent out by Rudy Rodriguez.
Owner Michael Dubb using sort of his business to name his horses in here. We'll have to improve off the debut.
Scoopsy Potato gets the gold star for best name in the race, sent out by Joe Orsino.
For all you practical Joker fans, impractical Joker fans, Scoopsy Potatoes was the name that rings to your bell, but this horse is getting played 6-1.
And there's a look at the 7 Crusader Cat, first-time starter, 17-1 for Gary Siaka.
Long shot, first-time starter, 1-2 in this race for Gary Siaka.
And the 12 Berkey as well draws in off the also eligible by Shanghai Bobby.
Just a straight player because the best race on form by far, whether it was on turf or not.
And Disco Outlaw looking great in the post parade for George Weaver, makes his dirt debut today.
I'd like to walk around and do a survey and find out who's betting that horse at 3-1.
Well, you can go and try to find out, Andy. The 9 Anything Passable, a first-time starter for Robert Falcone Jr., Andy's pick.
This is my selection in here, as I laid out before. First-time starter for Robert Falcone.
We'll get to the 11th and final race in just a second, but as you can see, that's Sea Hero, the statue in the famous paddock here at Saratoga. We'll get to race 11 right after this break.
Make NyraBets your home for online horse racing and betting. Use NyraBets to bet on live horse racing from around the world. Bet from anywhere, anytime using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Play in our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up at NyraBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus today. NyraBets, racing's best play. Use promo code PICK5 to get a $200 new member sign-up bonus on NyraBets.com.
You're watching Saratoga Live as we get set and ready to go to cap off the card with the 11th and final race. Beautiful outrider pony there as we look at the late pick 5. Well, we started things off with a $22 winner, formful in the second leg, and from there, guys, well, it's been pretty good.
Parlay's about $800. I'm doing it quickly in my head in this. And you look at the payouts in here.
Ridiculous.
They're off the charts. I mean, obviously, you had to come up with a first winner. But if you came up with that first in this race, and as you say, logical horses throughout, you're alive for a score.
12-1 on that horse. And obviously a single in the 1 and the 1A, and you got 5-2 and 7-2 morning lines, and the lowest you can do, Gabs, is like 3,000 plus. So amazing, amazing play.
I picked the obvious single third. I'm just pointing out.
This is a bear of a race as well, guys, but we'll get to that in a second. A reminder to check out the special sign-up promotion on NyraBets. Go to NyraBets.com, bet 200 and get 200 in your account by using that promo code PICK5. Get signed up today. As we mentioned, this is just a very competitive race. Right now, your lukewarm favorite is way to the outside, the 15 Disco Outlaw, a horse who's never tried the main track before. Maggie, what do you make of this race?
I'm with you guys. And Andy, you got to be quiet about Fair Archer. I'm excited to see that horse when he finally gets on the turf. But as Paulie made a statement about who gets the lead, that might be your winner. I'm going to take a gamble in that it might be the 9. Now, he's not my pick here overall, just due to the lack of experience. I'm going to side with ones that do have it. But A, he's got Kendrick Carmouche aboard. B, oh, we do have a late scratch here. I will get it in a second. But anything possible is... Oh, well, Fair Archer is going to be a late scratch, so maybe it'll be a long time till we see Fair Archer back at the races. But anyway, moving on to number 9, anything possible. As we see Fair Archer with the tack off there, he will not play today. Fair Archer is a horse who's by Mission Impossible. Anything possible is by Mission Impossible. Those are precocious horses. They tend to be fast. This horse looks fast. He's acting fast. He got a big warm-up by an aggressive rider named Kendrick Carmouche. Blinkers are on for his debut. I think this guy leaves there running. Moving on to ones who have experience. Number 5 is the Engineer's Report. I love the way he looks. I thought he would be a little bit quicker away from the gates than he was in his debut, but I'm going to still bank on the fact that he should be quick away from here once again. As we'll look at your favorite, that'll be number 15, Disco Outlaw. Blinkers do go on. Now, as far as getting on this surface, I would suppose I'm somewhat optimistic. The thing I like about him is how much he's progressed from his first start to this third start. He's grown, he's gotten stronger, he's gotten a lot sharper too. As those 3/4 cup blinkers go on, we'll see if he has any early gate speed, guys.
Thanks very much, Maggie. And there's a look at the pick bar. Paula Duga landing on the 5, as well as Maggie Wolfendale. Andy, you go to the 9 in here. But I wanted to circle back to the 15 Disco Outlaw, because in these races that are so confusing, especially in off-the-turf races, but 2-year-old races as well, you got to pay attention to the board, and this horse is popular.
Is this Jose Ortiz money? How could there be a tip on this horse is what I'm wondering. This horse was not an MTO, was entered for a turf race. It came off, has done no running in its races. I know, it's George Weaver. The guy is terrific.
Yeah.
I get it. But, oh, wait, 2-1. Maybe you're right. Maybe there's a big story. 2-1?
This is getting crazy. And he has a complete outside. Again, honor and glory, one of the better influences you can have in an off track, but that just doesn't sell the horse at 2-1. Some ridiculous prices, especially the 5, the Rudy Rod, because that guy wins races and wins these type of races. And you made a good point before, and so did Maggie talking about Kendrick Carmouche. He wins the last race a lot, Gabby. You said that the other day.
And he likes to stay clean as well, as we say. Clean faces win races. I think that is Kendrick Carmouche's motto. We just saw the 2 Zigman enter the gate, and this horse is the highest priced purchase at the sale in the field of $85,000. He's just going to have to work out a trip from the rail.
Well, it just feels, and the Dam was a 5-time winner in the turf. So you have to
yeah.
imagine that Zygmunt, I'm thinking of Flaming Globes of Zygmunt from Seinfeld, right? You have to imagine that this horse was meant for turf.
And we see the Michael Dubb Silks on the 5 Engineers report, and he keeps racking up those victories here. Trainer Rudy Rodriguez sends this horse out, but did no running on a wet track first time out.
I know. You know, listen, the experience might help this horse. I'd rather take this horse at 7-1 than 5-2 or 2-1 than 15.
I'm with you. I think the 5, if the 9 doesn't come out running one of the first, I think the 5 gets the lead.
Oh, this is a very, very competitive race, and where's the public looking? They're looking at that horse right now, the 15 Disco Outlaw. He'll be entering the gate as we send it up to Larry Colmus for the call.
Ready for the start. They're off. Disco Outlaw on the outside came out running. So too Rachmaninoff from the inside. Rachmaninoff for the early lead and opening up to lead by 2. Engineers Report is now running along in second. Zygmunt is sent through an opening on the inside. Farther out are Crusader Cat and Disco Outlaw on the far outside. After that, it's Anything Possible. Lake Party is next, and then Scoopsy Potato and Berkey at the back. 22.61 was the quarter. They move around the far turn. It is Rachmaninoff with a 2.5 length lead. Disco Outlaw on the outside. Engineers Report in between horses. Zygmunt rides the rail. These 3 lined up 3 lengths off this front runner. Another 4 lengths more back to Anything Possible, and they're into the stretch with Rachmaninoff to catch. Rachmaninoff coming down to the 8th pole in front. Zygmunt to the inside second. Trying to get going as Engineers Report, who's third as they come to the final furlong. Rachmaninoff in front. Engineers Report on the outside. Trying to come on. And then comes Zygmunt toward the inside. And from the back of the pack, it is Berkey. Here comes Engineers Report. Engineers Report runs down Rachmaninoff to win it. Zygmunt was third, and then came Anything Possible. And the final time was 1:07 flat.
Engineers Report closing a little bit from off of the pace, gets the victory with his second start, proving experience. Well, it did pay off in here.
Puts Michael Dubb 2 up for the owner's title, makes it almost impossible for him not to get it. I think maybe a tie is the worst he could do. The experience helped here, Paul.
Yeah, you know what? He ran at spots, right? The 2 had the rail. The 4 looked long gone and just starts to get weary right here. And then you can see the 5. And Manuel Franco now just needs to steer to the outside. First-time starter runs good here to run up to a nice place. But watch Manuel Franco sort of time this like a standard-bred driver here. I got this. Let me look behind and just take a big hold. I'll tell you what, if your 9 breaks, would have been a lot closer.
I boxed 5'9". I'm going to cry.
Well, I think the thing to point out in the stretch run, guys, is the horse was probably down on the inside because he was lugging in. Manny Franco obviously having a tough time keeping this horse in a straight path.
Excellent point, Gabby's. And Manny is as strong a rider as there. Manny and Joel Rosario are super strong guys, and Manny just does a great job getting this horse off because if he doesn't straighten her out, no way he wins.
We talked about this yesterday. Besides the Ortiz brothers, Manny Franco and Jose Lozcano, take nothing away from Johnny V and them. They've had really solid meets.
That they have a phenomenal job by jockey Manny Franco keeping this horse a course here. He had to kind of switch to the left lead and keep him going in his second career start. But a good day here for jockey Manny Franco, having a couple wins on the day as well. But we'll step aside, and when we come back, we'll take a look at prices and more winner circle action. Coming up tomorrow, the hopeful, the last grade 1 of the meet.
Undefeated in sprint competition, Eclipse champion Run Happy captured 3 Grade 1 victories and set blistering speed records at both Keeneland and Saratoga. In the Breeders' Cup Sprint, he dominated the world's fastest runners, going 6 furlongs in a record-breaking 108 and change. The only horse nominated for 3 Eclipse awards, Run Happy was crowned champion male sprinter, all the while racing 100% drug-free. Champion, millionaire, record-breaker, Run Happy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Visit the new Rivers Casino and Resort, the Capital Region's only destination for live table game action and where the hottest new slots are paying out millions. Sign up for Rush Rewards and play up to $500 in slots on us. Plus, we'll double any casino offer and match your tier. Rivers Casino and Resort.
This 3-time graded stakes winning millionaire defeated 20 Grade 1 winners. In the Dixie Stakes, he defeated Canadian champion and horse of the year Up With the Birds and set a new course record at Saratoga. Runner-up in the Grade 1 Manhattan and Shadwell Turf Mile, Ironicus ran 7 triple-digit buyers, including this score in the Fort Marcy Stakes. Half to 4 graded stakes winners, Ironicus has the speed, class, and bloodlines to become the next great sire by Distorted Humor. Ironicus at Claiborne Farm.
Change the way you watch racing forever with the new Naira Now app. Live racing in English or Spanish. From a variety of camera angles, race replays, talking horses, race analysis, and a multitude of on-demand content, all in high definition. Naira Now is available on many platforms, including iOS, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and more coming soon. Download Naira Now today, free in the App Store, and start watching the best racing like never before.
Back on Saratoga Live as we get you the results here for the 11th and final race at Saratoga. It is unofficial, actually, as it stands right now. So we'll get down to the winner circle, standing by with jockey Manny Franco. Maggie?
Thanks, Gabby. And I think we're just waiting on the payouts from Tote, but it looks as though, Manny, you're having a great Saratoga. You finished off this card, 3 wins here today. Engineers report, talk a little bit about him coming down the stretch. He was still green.
Yeah, I mean, I rode him last time, and he doesn't turbo out of the gate in the beginning of the race. But today he did it in the stretch, and I just trying to keep him straight, and that's what I did, and he won.
And I know we saw him try to lug in on the 4 a bit as you just approached the wire, but you were able to keep him straight. And Manny won 22 races last year at Saratoga. You're almost 10 in front of that number with 1 day of racing to go. You got to be pretty confident.
Yeah, Maggie, I want to say thanks all the trainer and the owner for giving me the opportunity. My agent is been doing a great job with me, and I can't ask for any more. I had a great meet so far.
And Manny, I got to ask you a jockey question. How many goggles do you have on here? Is it 5, I think?
Yeah, I have 5.
Is that how many you usually ride with in the mud?
Yeah, I like to use a lot in the mud because I feel more comfortable, and I switch right away, and I got a lot, so I like to use a lot.
So you'll always be protected, keeping those goggles hopefully clean, which you went through about 2 or 3 pairs there. Congratulations.
Thank you, Maggie.
All right, guys, the life of a jockey and Manny Franco, Gabby.
Thanks, Maggie. And Manny was talking about this horse not breaking very well first time out. That's probably why he had so many goggles on.
It's true, right?
Predicting that this horse wouldn't break well again. But what a tremendous meet Manny Franco has had. Obviously, we have the Jose Ortiz and Irad Ortiz and Johnny Velasquez of the world. They're in the top 3. But a huge kind of coming out party for Manny Franco.
Well, also, Manny's just a terrific rider and a wonderful person. But also, he was 3 for his first 60-something. I think the first 2 weeks of the meet, he won 3 races. So you have to imagine how well he did when you consider his slow start.
I think the thing that surprised me is, you know, the versatility. He's a good turf rider. He almost stole the last race yesterday, and he just got ripped at the wire. He'd have 4 wins in the last 12 races. It's hard to do both. It's hard to be good on dirt, and it's hard to be on turf. Of course, the Ortiz brothers. He's really gotten better on the turf, and he's gotten better on the dirt. He's a good rider, and you see this now. Chad will have some in tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be nice and 85, so they'll be entered.
Supposed to be warm out. I don't know. Do we know how many each trainer has in tomorrow?
We should find that out here, but 39 wins for Todd Pletcher, 38 for Chad Brown. A good meet for Linda Rice as well thus far, but it's going to be close to the finish here, especially tomorrow.
You know, I'll tell you, like, obviously the focus is on the big 2 and the battle throughout the meet, but Linda Rice has had an unbelievably great meet here. I mean,
she's won 7 races with 2 horses.
It's tremendous, and I mean,
it's crazy.
Isn't that unbelievable?
She's so good at placing her horses in the right spots, and I think when she won the trainer's title here a few years back, she had in the low 20s.
Yeah.
So it shows how good that 16 is. Just because the other guys had these crazy meets, and obviously they run a lot of horses, Linda did extremely well to be 3rd.
Yeah, and her turf, king of the turf, right? I mean, she won a ton of turf races
Queen
here.
Of the turf.
Yeah, queen of the turf. You're right. But yeah, what she did with Voodoo Song and what Gabby was talking about, New York's Finest. I mean, New York's Finest broke through the gate and still won as well. And if you're wondering about tomorrow, Todd Pletcher, 8 entered in. Chad Brown 6. Now that's with no scratches, and hopefully we'll be on the turf for the last day, I hope.
We're certainly going to get a couple, especially including Bernard Baruch.
Well, we are finished here, but you can keep on playing with Naira Bets after the Saratoga card ends with a 250,000 point all split on race 5 at Del Mar, but a $10 base exacta in the 5th at Del Mar, and win or lose split 250,000 points. It's an easy way to get your Del Mar betting off to a great start. Well, guys, we're wrapping things up tomorrow, sadly enough, but we still have graded stakes action and the grade 1 hopeful. The fillies were today, the boys are tomorrow, and Todd Pletcher sends out 2 good ones, too.
He does. I mean, he's got a couple of terrific entrants in here. Motivation is a highly regarded horse that won its debut for Zayat Stable.
Yes.
And look, now it was with the track that day, and I'll tell you something, drawing the inside, it almost reminds me a little of Separation of Powers in the Spinaway. Drawing inside is not a great draw for this horse. There's other pace on paper.
There really is other pace on paper. Right to the outside of this colt is going to be Oscar Blues, who probably surprised everybody. And Kenny McPeak doesn't really have his horses fired. I like the determination this horse showed here late. He held sway. The other horse was trying hard, but you know, he's accelerating and he's going away. It's Todd. He's going to get back.
Oh, listen, he's obviously talented. This is a real talent. This is a very, very deep hopeful. I feel like anyone could win.
And we'll take a look at the 5 national flag for trainer Todd Pletcher. And This horse, well, he didn't show up first time out, but he surely did second time out here.
We also have to like the fact in his first race he got engaged into a severe speed duel and he tired badly. In this race, he rated comfortably, and rating is a key factor in this race because he's not a horse that figures to get beaten up in a duel. I think he's a big player.
No, sometimes when you like to look at the horse that jogs, how about the horse that's in a dogfight? And he was a little bit in a dogfight. Now, Slot ran third, came back to run second in a normal maiden special weight. I don't know what that does, but the horse has got a lot of try.
Well, Slot was second in the race against the horses that were ran against Motivation.
Yeah.
This is Oscar Blues getting the victory at 33-1 for trainer Kenny McPeak. Where do you guys see this horse?
You missed the wedding on him. He was very game. The inside was good that day. I think that was a pretty highly regarded Todd Pletcher horse outside of him in this race, so he beat a legitimate animal, and he's a horse that, if nothing else, can really make the life difficult for Motivation.
Yeah, he can. And one thing about Kenny that I've learned in Kentucky, this horse really battled back. He doesn't debut a lot of his horses with Lasix. He debuted this one with Lasix. This one's going to improve. Now, this is the horse they got to beat, right? Because 2 wins in a row. Drop Dead Billy, who runs second in this race, Andy, got bet off the board first time out like a good thing and ran well again behind the Son of Union Rags.
Yeah, actually, the free drop Billy is actually on the outside.
Yeah, he's
here.
the 4.
He finished his second here. He's in the blue on the outside.
Looks like he's going to go by,
Psychoanalyze had some trouble in here. It did look he was. Listen, talking about trainers that have had good meets, Jason Service, who trains for Fire, he's had a great meet.
He has, and Frenzy Fire, you know, this is a horse who really stepped up to the plate against Graded Stakes Company last time out. And do you want horses like this who are multiple winners? Obviously, Frenzy Fire has 2 wins and 2 starts, but the rest of the field, they just broke their maidens.
I want a maiden, actually. I want Give Me a Minute for Dallas Stewart. This horse made a huge move to finish second to Wayne Lucas's horse, Sporting Chance, who was riding a good rail. And this horse made a tremendous close that day. I like this horse tomorrow for Dallas.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think you need to go with somebody that maybe go for a little bit of a price because, like I said, very rarely will horses win first time out from the 1 hole, and Kenny McPeak's a little bit like Ian Wilkes. I think Kenny might have some here, even though his horse was 33-1 first time out.
Fun race.
And I guess another factor is obviously the added distance to 7/8.
Yeah.
Who could improve with that? But wanted to let everybody know that we are experiencing a tote delay here for the official results of today's final race. So definitely go to NYRA.com or get the NYRA Now app for more information on that. And taking a look at the NYRA Now app, again, go to NYRA.com. It's available for download and free for download on all of those devices there, Android, iPad, iPhone. So definitely take a look there for the results of today's finale. Well, we've got a big day signed up tomorrow, of course, the Grade 1 hopeful, but today the filly shined, and that was Vertical Oak winning the Grade 2 Prioress. That was her 5th career win, her first Graded Stakes win, and it was a phenomenal weekend for her trainer, Steve Asmussen, taking both the Woodward and the Grade 2 Prioress. It was a good day for her jockey, too, Johnny Velasquez. 4 wins yesterday, 3 today. We'll see how it all unfolds tomorrow. We'll see you then.